Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. All right, we got a big show, or we got a lot to go through here. And this is a heavy one, guys. This one's a really, really tough one. I'm not going to lie. This one's a really, really tough one because honestly, let's keep it a buck. This one hurts, y'all. I don't know if you guys have already been listening to this trial or not. I told you guys I'd be covering it or taking a look at some of these things to share with you guys and chop it up with you guys about this. But there was something that's still going on right now as we speak, but it was big enough that I feel like we should watch as a family. It's a very big piece, so we're going to be going through bits and pieces of this. This may be a part one because of my day. It's really slammed, so this may be a part one. I'm going to see what I can squeeze in before my prior engagements, that I have later on this afternoon. But nonetheless, I wanted to share this with you guys because at the end of the day, this is very, very devastating. This is very sad. I can't believe what we're hearing in trial right now. And I told you guys, I can't do the full first thing in the morning, going all the way through the whole trial, watching everything and all that. I'm gonna do my best. I'm trying my best, but I am only one man, okay? And I wear many, many hats, and there's a lot to take care of by being just one man, okay? But still, nonetheless, I told you guys, I asked you guys last night what you guys thought. I heard your voice. I heard your opinions. You guys were like, yes, please cover this stuff. And I figured this is a good place to start because there was a lot of bombshells, a lot of heart-wrenching details that were dropped during this particular testimony today. So we got to take a look at this for sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that, Just Saying said, is this going to be a two-parter or a three-parter? I don't know yet. I'm going to squeeze in as much as I can today and, on this particular show and see what happens. So do me a favor really, really quick, because I know there's a lot of other people covering this and watching this trial as well. And understandably, a lot of us in the true crime realm have covered Harmony Montgomery's case and really care about what's happening here. And there's a lot of things that are going on in trial that are a little bit unprecedented that I've never seen before in my life. There's some really interesting stuff, which I don't think makes the person, this monster, Adam Montgomery, look good. I don't think it makes him look good at all. But that's just my personal opinion. We're going to get into those things in just a minute. So hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes as you start to file in. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay. Please and thank you. Hit that like button. Hit it. Please don't forget. Okay. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. Of course, if you're watching on Facebook as well, crush that follow button on my Facebook page. Please and thank you. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Okay. We're going to be here for a minute. Just a heads up. It's a lot to listen to. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button. We cover a lot of things on this show, everything from pop culture to true crime, everything. We try to squeeze as much as we can onto this platform. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like variety and you like the stuff that I'm talking about. And of course, if you want to support the channel even more, you can hit that join button down below, become a member of the family. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. Go join my Patreon. It's on the ticker down below, or check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. Okay, guys, let's get into this. All right. We got a lot to talk about, and this is very sad, very frustrating. This is going to be a tough ride, y'all. I'm going to keep it a buck. This is going to be a very, very tough ride, but really, really quick for those of y'all who are still kind of new to the game, new to the party, new to this story. This is 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery. Now, a little while ago, a few years ago, we talked about her disappearance. But what's interesting about this particular disappearance is that she was last seen. Okay, she was, of course, a kid. She's 5 years old. She was last seen in Manchester, New Hampshire in 2019, okay, when she was 5 years old at that time. Her disappearance was not reported until the 21st, okay, 2021. 2 whole years, we didn't hear anything about Harmony Montgomery and the fact that she was even missing, okay? When her father, Adam Montgomery, which I'll show you right here, this piece of trash right here, Adam Montgomery was arrested and charged on second-degree reckless conduct and endangering the welfare of a child. Okay, this, of course, we already know that this particular case has gained a whole lot of attention, especially on the whereabouts of where this young little baby girl is. Okay, and it still remains unknown. And her mother, Crystal, has pleaded for information about her daughter's disappearance. The circumstances surrounding Harmony's disappearance are still unclear, and investigations were ongoing to determine the circumstances leading to her disappearance. Now, the reason why we are looking at this and talking about this is because a few years ago, we talked about little Harmony's case. We were all sitting here going, the true crime realm. We were all wondering the same thing. Where is she? What happened to her? Is she still alive? Is she still safe? Where could she be, right? But of course, now we are looking at a very interesting, heartbreaking, and very graphic trial right now. Now, one thing I want to point out, this piece of trash right here, okay? I'm going to say it because I don't give a damn. This is a piece of trash right here. His name is Adam Montgomery. Now, we already showed you his face before, but I'm going to share with you his face again. This man has the absolute audacity to not even show up to his own trial. So right now, we're looking at a trial without him in it. And I've talked about it before. I'm like, man, it ain't the same without actually like his ass in it. I'm going to keep it a buck. It doesn't feel like, I feel like it's a wrap already. You're not willing to show up to your own trial, You've already pled guilty to a couple of the charges that you're looking at, like tampering with remains, etc. He's already pled guilty to a couple of these charges. Okay, like I said, the A of a corpse. All right, falsifying physical evidence. He's already pled guilty to those things. Okay, but the trial still must trudge on because he has not said that he has not pled guilty on other charges. Right. So now he's still not showing up to his doggone thing. It's day 3 of the trial. And I told you guys I would hop on here and try to give you guys some of this stuff, some of the information, at least when I get a chance. But then I didn't know that this was going to happen today, that his wife, the stepmother to Harmony Montgomery, was going to actually approach and do her testimony today, or at the fact that she was going to drop some serious bombshells, in my personal opinion, heart-wrenching details on the last moments that Harmony had on this planet before this piece of trash, Anna Montgomery, tried to dispose of her body. There's so much more to this story. We're going to hear it in this testimony. It's absolutely mind-blowing in my personal opinion. But we got a long testimony. This is just part 1, okay, of her testimony. I wanted to share it with you guys so we can watch this as a family. Again, this is just heart-wrenching. T-dubs, as I always say, okay? This is going to be a hard one to listen to because, you see a little girl, okay? And you think, man, she had so much to live for. And now she is no longer here because of this piece of trash. and then some. Let's not forget the things that happened here were witnessed by the wife, by her own stepmother, Kayla Montgomery. And now she's taking the stand to break it all the way down for us. It is mind-blowing. This one messed me up. I will say that. Okay, as a father, as a human being, this one really messed me up. So get ready. This one's a tough one. I know that a lot of people are already covering this, but I told you guys I would cover it with you guys. So let's take a look at part 1 of her testimony. It is it's a tough one, guys. Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this, and let's get on with it.
That you're going to provide this jury will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Make yourself some water there.
And actually, before we get into this, Leisha, yes, I had to take breaks. Don't worry, we probably will take some breaks here as well. Okay, we're gonna release some of this tension because, yeah, this is tough.
Kayla, can you begin by stating and spelling your full name for the record?
My name is Kayla Montgomery, Kayla Montgomery.
And how old are you, Kayla?
33.
Where do you currently live?
I am in the correctional facility for women's in Concord, New Hampshire,
How long have you been there?
for over a year.
Kayla, why are you currently incarcerated?
For perjury, for lying on to the jury about the whereabouts of where I was and where Harmony was.
And when you say lying to the jury, was that the grand jury?
Yes.
Did you also lie to the police?
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
Because I was scared, and I was told by Adam to stick with that story, that I got dropped off at work at Dunkin' Donuts, where I no longer worked at that time, and to say that he was bringing Harmony to meet her mother, Crystal, and that he dropped her off with her. And then when he came to pick me up from work, which I was not working there at the time, he didn't have her in the car, which that was a lie.
That story that you just told, that was what you told the grand jury?
Yes.
It's what you told the police?
Yes.
And was that in fact what happened?
No.
Perjury. Hence the reason why
You
she's
said you've been
locked up.
sentenced for lying.
Yes.
You're living at the prison. Do you understand the consequences of providing false testimony?
Yes.
And since those lies, since your time in prison, have you sat down with investigators? Have you sat down with the Attorney General's office and provided additional statements?
Yes.
How many times?
About 4 times.
How many hours?
A couple hours at a time when they've came to see me, or I've gone out to the office to meet with them.
Did you reach a plea agreement with the state?
Yes.
And that was on the perjury charges.
Yes.
Other charges were dismissed, is that right?
Yes.
The story that you just told about the defendant dropping Harmony off with Crystal, who came up with that story?
Adam.
Why did you stick to it?
Because I was scared for myself and my children that are also Adam's, and for him, because I didn't want anybody to get in trouble, and I was scared.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Kayla, you referred to Harmony Montgomery just now. How do you know her?
She's Adam's daughter.
Can I just say something really quick? There is no place in my heart right now. There is no room in my heart for sympathy for her, for this woman right here. I'm sorry. I just don't. I get it that there are certain levels of okay, feeling trapped and whatnot. We haven't gotten into all the stuff yet. But the information that she says here, it's like, why didn't you say nothing? You said not in a damn, not nothing for a very long time. I have no place in my heart for this woman. I'm sorry. I don't. So her getting choked up and all that, there's just no place in my heart for her. Also, I want to remind you where she was. She looks completely different than what she looks like right here. Let me show you what I mean. Let's just take a look at this, shall we? Splat out. This is what she looked like back then. That's her. No lie. Something else, right? See, this is why I say, kids, don't do drugs. Say no, cabrón. Say no. Okay? Just letting you guys know. Sorry for screaming it, but I have to say. This is your brain on drugs. In fact, this is what happens. You lie. You don't say anything. A five-year-old little girl is still missing. Okay, she's gone, but her remains are nowhere to be found right now. This is what happens. So say no. Okay? Don't care if that's a Nancy Reagan thing. I don't give a damn. Say no. Okay? Don't end up like her. Or him, for that matter, too. Because they all gained weight. They all had their fifth meal now. They all got their fourth and fifth meal now. But when they first got arrested, when they all got mug shots and all that stuff, they don't look like what they look like right now. Ain't that something? Anyway, I digress. I'm going to stop. I'll get off my soapbox. Let's continue. So no room in my heart for this woman. Let's go.
And we started a year after we got together. He was working on getting custody of her. And
he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have been able to have any chance of getting custody over that little child. And the other thing that really aggravates me, and it's not what it's what you said, but it's not because of what you said. Does that make sense? Like, I appreciate you saying, yeah, she looks healthier because she's sober. And the thing is we should be saying the same thing about Harmony right now. Shouldn't we? That she's healthy and happy, and she's so smart, and she's so beautiful, and she's doing all these amazing things. Shouldn't we be saying that same thing about this little girl who should still be alive, but because of their use, because of the A and all that stuff, etc., this kid is no longer here. I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep moving. I don't care if she's healthier. I don't give a damn if she got her fourth and fifth meal. I don't care if she trips to Taco Bell multiple times. I don't care. The information that and it's for him too. This anger and vitriol is going towards him too. Okay? Sorry. I'm coming out the gate hot, but I've already heard all of this, okay? And it just burns my cookies, okay? So, Jackie, Sue, I love you, okay? But you know what I mean. Yeah, you say, I hear you, Pascal. Thank you. Let's continue. I'll stop interjecting. This really grinds my gears, guys. Okay.
he had to work to get custody of her. He wasn't just giving her. And it took 4 years to get custody of her. And during those 4 years, we both visited her each week for a couple hours.
Was she your stepdaughter?
Yes.
Showing this witness what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 98 for identification. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Who's depicted in this image?
Jesus.
Harmony and myself.
And can you point to Harmony? And is there a date associated with this image?
Yes, July 7th, 2019.
And do you recognize this image?
Yes.
That
Is
part,
it a
Marie.
fair and accurate representation of Harmony on that day?
Yes.
Who's the other person depicted in that picture with Harmony?
Myself.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of you that day?
Yeah,
Do you know who took this photo?
I did.
Your Honor, at this point, I'd move to strike the ID and mark as full, State's Exhibit 98,
Any objection?
and publish.
The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit and it may be published to the jury.
Oh, she guilty as hell too. And I'm wondering if she's going to be, I don't know if she's seeing trial or not, but she should be.
What were you and Harmony doing in this photograph?
We were taking pictures and laughing, playing. We always did silly pictures.
You mentioned getting custody of Harmony at some point. Do you remember when that was?
It was the month of February of 2019.
And where were you living when you got custody of Harmony?
77 Guilford Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
When you got custody of Harmony, was she potty trained?
Yes.
Was she potty trained
That's
after you
crazy.
got her or before you got her?
Before.
Did she have accidents when you first got her?
No.
I wonder why.
So you mentioned 77 Guilford Street. When did you move into that home?
It was in 2018. Probably around April or May. I think it was around that time.
Whose home was it?
Adam's grandmother's, Helen Montgomery.
Did she live there with you at any point?
Yes, when we were staying there in the beginning, she lived there.
And in the beginning, who else lived there with you?
Adam's uncle, Kevin Montgomery, Adam's brother, Michael Montgomery, and Adam's brother's girlfriend, Kayla. I don't remember her last name.
Another Kayla, though.
Yeah. And myself and Adam, and we had Seamus.
How old was Seamus when you moved into that house?
About to turn 1.
Would you recognize that Guilford Street house if you saw it today?
Yes.
Yes?
Such trash. I'm sorry, guys. I know I came in hot, but still. It's a little girl, you know what I mean? And I don't know if she's self-medicated
Kayla, I'm handing
or...
you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibits 1 and 2. Can you look at those for me, please?
But at the same time, she could very well be sober.
House. And this was Harmony's room.
And do you recognize the items that are depicted in those exhibits?
Yes.
Are they fair and accurate representations of what's contained in those exhibits?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to strike the ID and mark as full State's Exhibit 1 and 2.
They're already full? I think they are.
Already
I think they're already full.
I move to publish, Your Honor.
Yes, you may.
Showing off the crib.
Kayla, State's Exhibit 2, what can you tell us about this room?
Adam and I helped decorate this room right before Harmony came to live at Guilford Street. And she really likes Minnie Mouse.
When you say she really liked Minnie Mouse, who is she?
Harmony.
When you say you helped decorate the room, what did you do to decorate it?
Got the Minnie Mouse wall decor that stick to the wall, and got her a whole new bed set, blankets and sheets.
There's no bed in that photo, but was Harmony's bed in that room?
Yes.
Where would it have been located in relation to that image?
Right next to the window.
One thing, real quick, S-Dubs just asked a really good question, and I'm curious about it too. What was the reason why they, I mean, if you say took her out, meaning like why, what happened to her, that's what I'd like to know as well. I'm still trying to find out what actually was the thing that what was the thing that led to her demise? Okay. What angered Adam? What got him so angry that he did what she claims in this testimony that he did, right? Some of them about to take the daylights out of her and stuff like that. It's insane. Okay. Even in the title, I say he had an evil look in his eye while he was apparently doing this unthinkable thing to his own daughter. I'm curious. I'm wondering what the hell happened here too, So let's hear it.
And Kayla, whose room was that prior to Harmony moving in?
It was Helen Montgomery's room.
Kayla, I'm showing you it's been marked as State's Exhibit 10 for identification. Do you recognize this?
Yeah, it was Harmony's toothbrush.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of Harmony's toothbrush?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to strike the ID and mark as full State's Exhibit 10.
Any objection? The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit. It may be published.
Kayla, you mentioned that Helen moved out and Harmony took over her room.
Yes, she moved out of the room, but she was still living at the house.
Did she eventually leave the house?
Yes.
When was that?
In May of 2019,
Do you know where she went?
Florida.
Thank you, Valerie. Damn.
Kayla, I want to turn your attention to July of 2019. So several months after Helen moved out. Were you still living in the Guilford Street home in July of 2019?
Yes.
And who was living there with you at that point?
It was myself and Adam and his uncle Kevin. And it was Seamus and our son Declan and Harmony. And his brother Michael and his girlfriend Kayla were still living there for a couple weeks until they moved out and went to Florida with her.
You mentioned this earlier, but where were you working at that point in your life?
I was working at Dunkin' Donuts.
Were you eventually terminated from your work at Dunkin' Donuts?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Because I was stealing money
Oh,
from the register.
so still a piece of trash. Gotcha.
Did you admit to stealing money?
Yes.
Did you actually write a letter acknowledging that you had stolen?
Yes.
Did you take responsibility for what you'd done at Dunkin'?
Yes.
You mentioned that in July of 2019, Kevin Montgomery was still living in the Guilford Street home.
Yes.
Did he eventually leave for Florida after Helen?
I don't remember where he went. I remember Helen had surgery. She had open triple bypass surgery. And I don't remember if Kevin went to Florida, and I think he went to Mass too. I don't remember where he went.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember him being gone from the house for several weeks?
Yes.
And let's talk about that period where Kevin's gone from the house. Okay. You were still working at that point?
Yes.
What were your hours like at work?
I worked 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I also covered shifts if they needed help.
The 3 children that you mentioned,
Yes.
where were they when you were at work?
With Adam.
And so in July of 2019, your youngest, Declan, how old would he have been?
He was about 6 months old.
Wow.
And you said you were working from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Did you like that setup?
Yes.
When you would get home from work at 2 p.m., what would you do? What would your day look like?
I would come back home and help take care of the kids and feed them regularly, get them ready for bed later. We'd watch movies or they'd be playing.
You mentioned Kevin Montgomery leaving for some period.
Yes.
Did he return to the home at some point?
Yes, he showed up with Helen.
So before that, though, in July of 2019, did he
Yeah.
return to the home at some point?
I don't remember.
Do you remember overhearing a conversation between Kevin and the defendant, Adam?
Yes.
What was the tone of that conversation?
They were arguing about a situation that happened with Harmony.
What was Kevin's tone in that argument? How did he sound?
He sounded angry.
What did Kevin say in that conversation? May we approach?
Yes.
Scoot up just a little bit.
How would you? Kayla, you mentioned Kevin sounded angry.
Yes.
Was this a quiet conversation?
No.
How would you describe it?
Yelling at each other back and forth. Argumentative. Yeah, it was just loud and angry.
Where were you during this conversation?
In the living room of the house in Guilford Street.
And where were the children?
Playing.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Yes. I know that they were arguing about a black eye that Harmony had, that I was told that.
So the black eye that Harmony
Yeah.
had you seen that before that argument?
Yes.
And tell this jury where you saw that black eye.
On the
First
side.
time you saw it.
It was on the side of her face right here. It was really red. It didn't really turn black and blue until like the next day.
So the first day you saw it, when it was red, really red, how did you see that? Where were you?
I came home from work and I saw her face and it was red, and I was told that.
And let me stop you there. You came home from work.
Yeah.
So this would have been around 2 p.m.?
Yeah.
Did you have an understanding of where Harmony had been that day?
Yes.
And tell us where that was.
She was at home at Guilford Street.
Who was she at home with?
With Adam and Uncle Kevin and Seamus and Declan.
And when you got home, when you saw this injury, the redness to Harmony's eye, did you ask the defendant what happened to her?
Yes.
What did he tell you?
That her and Seamus were playing and Seamus hit her in the face with the lightsaber by accident.
After you heard that confrontation between the defendant and Kevin, did you confront the defendant?
Yes, I asked him.
And at that point, did he tell you a new story about this injury to Harmony's eye?
No, it was the same. Well, yeah, he ended up telling me after
What was the new story he told you?
that he ended up hitting her in the face because she covered our son's mouth because he was crying and he was in the bathroom. He went to the bathroom. Declan was crying and Harmony had her hand over his mouth, and he came out of the bathroom and saw that, and his lips were blue, or purple blue, and he hit her.
Did he describe how he hit her?
Wow.
He smacked her in the face.
Did he acknowledge causing that injury to her?
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
Do you know a Demetrios Soros with DCYF?
Yes.
Did he come to the house after that interaction between Kevin and the defendant?
Yes.
Did you know at the time what the purpose of his visit was?
Yes.
What was it?
DCYF got called about the children not being taken care of, and that Adam was abusing his daughter.
When Mr. Soros arrived at your home, what did the defendant do with Harmony?
He left with her. He grabbed Harmony and left with her.
He grabbed her and left?
Yeah.
Did you have a conversation with Demetrios that day?
Yes.
In that conversation, did you cover for the defendant?
Yes.
Why?
Because I didn't want him to get in trouble.
We see a pattern here, don't we? I mean, are we seeing a pattern already? I mean, I've played quite a bit already. I have to jump in and interject, of course, for fair use and all that crap. But at the same time, we hear a pattern, don't we? And the fact that Adam Montgomery even put the blame on his own son rather than taking responsibility for even putting his paws on his own daughter is absolutely mind-blowing to me as well. But you see a pattern here, right? You see a pattern. I know Marie, nice Marie just said that in the comments, and that's true. He put blame on somebody else, his own kid, talking about a lightsaber, instead of actually taking responsibility for what he did to Harmony. And this is before everything, before her demise, before she loses her life. But then also at the same time, what happens here with Kayla? Covering his tracks. Because of fear, because of whatever, trying to just, hold it down for her man, whatever it may be. There's a pattern here already set in motion. Let's continue.
Was there a period in 2019 when you no longer lived at the house on Guilford Street?
Yes.
And tell us how that came to be.
Damn
we
right,
ended up getting
Midwest.
evicted from the house.
Really? I wonder why.
November of 2019, the day before Thanksgiving. Because the mortgage wasn't being paid.
Really?
And Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes.
Once again, hopefully this is a quick one. Nope. It's nice when I get to
Kayla, why were you
Day before Thanksgiving in 2000.
notice that the
Okay, real quick, I'm just asking you guys really quick. Do you appreciate this, like a kind of like a late to the party type of stream where we watch the testimonies in this manner, or would you rather it be done live? You know, in my time, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Let me know. All I know is that watching the testimonies and watching the trial early in the morning, I know my internet's really, really jacked up. So I care about this case and I want to talk about this trial. But if you appreciate me just doing a rerun type of thing, then I'll make sure that this is what we do from this point on. But like I said, we can cut out all the BS, the lunch breaks and all the other stuff that's going on. So just a curious question. Okay. I may put it up as a poll, but like I said, we're gonna continue here. Don't worry, don't go nowhere. We ain't done yet. We are far from being done. Let's continue.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd ask that the court take judicial notice that the day before Thanksgiving in 2019 was November 27th.
The court takes judicial notice that the day before Thanksgiving in 2019 was November 27th, 2019.
Kayla, why were you evicted from the home?
Because the mortgage wasn't getting paid.
And after you were evicted, where did you begin living?
In our car,
Uh-huh.
What kind of vehicle was it?
a Chrysler Sebring.
Interesting.
When you began living in that car, who were you with?
It was myself and Adam, Harmony, and the two boys
Where were you sleeping during that period?
in the car
Where would you keep the car?
behind Colonial Village in Manchester.
Thank you, Raven.
Why Colonial Village?
Because that's where our friend lived,
What was your friend's name?
Anthony Bodero.
Did you tell Mr. Badero that you were living there in that parking lot?
He asked us not to, but yes.
And so can you just describe the sleeping arrangement in that vehicle for you and your family at the time?
So Adam would sleep in the driver's seat. I slept in the passenger seat, and Harmony was behind the passenger seat, and the baby Declan was in the middle, and Seamus was behind the driver's seat.
Kayla, I asked you earlier about whether
Yeah.
Harmony was potty trained when you got custody of her. And I believe you said she was.
Yes,
Did that change at some point after the eviction?
yes.
And tell the jury about that. What happened to Harmony?
She wouldn't let us know when she had to use the bathroom, and so she was peeing in the car, just in her seat that she was sitting in, and she wouldn't tell us that she had to use the bathroom.
This is the part that everybody has been saying right now. This is the moment that I guess angered Adam to the point where this is the beginning. This is the beginning where it gets even more difficult to hear, guys. Just so you guys know. But she wet herself, as every kid does. She was 5, man. She was 5. So just so you guys know, this is going to be tough. All right? This is the tough part. 0 Fs. I'm going to roll it back just like a few seconds back. Okay? But this is the start of everything here. And she messed herself. She went 1 and 2. Oh, man. Oh, man. But again, like, yes, I was just about to say that, Lexa, and thank you so much for saying that about the merch. I really do appreciate it. Please go check out the merch when you guys get a chance. It's pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description box down below or above wherever you're watching the show. But at the same time, she was traumatized, and wedding accidents are a sign of that. Absolutely. Because remember, this particular lawyer, this prosecutor is doing a damn good job. He set up the breadcrumbs to where we're about to walk into. He is telling a story through these questions. This is why I love watching trials. Now, I guess I geek out on them now. But, you know, even when I was a kid, I was still watching Perry Mason and Matlock and Law and Order and all those other shows, you know what I mean? Like that are kind of case heavy or in the courtroom kind of heavy. And I know that it's Hollywood, so they're a lot, it's over the top and all that stuff. But at the same time, I used to love watching that stuff. Long story short, what I'm trying to say is this particular lawyer is doing a really good job at setting up the foundation because he's coming back to it. Now he's coming back to it. He goes, hey, did Harmony have any issues with soiling herself, with messing herself? One or two, it doesn't matter. Did she have any issues? Was she potty trained before you had her in your custody, in your possession? And Kayla said, yes, she was potty trained. And now we're hearing about her messing herself in the car. This is where everything goes downhill. But again, this shows, yes, I agree with Lexa, that this little girl was traumatized way before any of this stuff, but way before this tragic incident happened. So let's continue. Again, real talk. Have mercy. Okay, this is the hard stuff. This is where we go into some choppy weather. Okay?
At some point after the eviction.
Yes.
And tell the jury about that. What happened to Harmony?
She wouldn't let us know when she had to use the bathroom.
Nope.
And so she was
Scared.
peeing in the car.
Because she was
just
scared.
in her seat that she was sitting in. And she wouldn't tell us that she had to use the bathroom.
Because
Was she only peeing or was she having other accidents at the time?
She was also pooping.
Because she was scared. Because she had two parents that don't give two damns about her. Let's keep it real. A biological papa and a stepmama that don't give a damn about her. And anytime she had any issues, I'm sure she was just like, I'm going to hold it. 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 Because she was scared of getting hurt by her own flesh and blood. The person that's supposed to protect her, her father. And I wouldn't be surprised if this woman put her hands on this little girl as well. But that's not what she's on trial for. Ain't that interesting? Let's move on. Damn.
How frequently was this occurring for Harmony?
A lot. Like at least every day.
And did those accidents, did they increase in frequency the longer you were in that car?
Yes.
How was the defendant responding when she had these accidents?
Getting angry.
Would he do anything physically to her when she had accidents?
Yeah, he would smack her.
And what does that mean that he would smack her?
He would smack her in the face or on her leg or in her hand.
Who does that, guys? It's a kid.
Were these soft smacks,
No.
hard smacks, or something else?
They were like hurt, stung smacks.
What makes you say hurt, stung smacks?
Because she would cry during, like, whenever she got smacked by him, and I could hear it, and it sounds like it hurt.
I'm sorry, you could hear the crying or you could hear the smack?
Smack and the crying.
When you say she was crying, who's she?
Harmony.
Those strikes, were they manifesting in any way on Harmony?
Yes.
How were they manifesting on her?
The more accidents she had, the more he would get angry, and he would hit her repetitively.
Was the defendant causing visible injuries to Harmony?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
And tell us about those injuries.
When he would hit her, she started getting black eyes and bruises on her face, on her legs. Yeah.
Did you ever see her bleed as a result of being struck by him?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you ever see the defendant attempt to cover Harmony
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors how he did that?
He would cover her with the comforter that we had in the car
Why would he cover her?
so nobody could see her.
How often would he cover Harmony?
All the time.
Wow.
Anytime that we had interference with anybody,
Wow.
no matter who it was.
Was this only when you went out in public, or was it when you were still in that parking lot, or both?
Both.
Exactly, Texas.
Kayla, were you involved in an accident, a car accident on November 29th of 2019?
Yes.
And I want to turn your attention to that day. Who were you with that day?
Tabitha, Scott,
Who else was in the vehicle during that accident?
Adam, myself, Harmony, and the two boys.
Who was driving?
Adam.
That Sebring, did you regularly drive it? Did you drive it at all?
Yeah, I didn't drive it, but he did. He had the license. I did not.
You didn't have a license at the time.
No.
So you said that Adam was driving, the defendant was driving the vehicle. Where were you in position to the rest of the people in the vehicle?
I was sitting with Harmony in the back seat behind the passenger side,
And where was Harmony?
next to me and Declan. She was in between,
And where was Seamus?
in his car seat on the other side of Declan.
Would that have been behind the driver's seat?
Yes.
You mentioned a Tabitha Scott.
Yes.
Who was she to you?
She's been one of my friends for a long time.
And she was in the car with you that day?
Yes.
Where was she seated?
In the passenger seat.
And what was Tabitha Scott doing with you that day?
We were going to get drugs.
Yeah, you guys about to go get some stuff.
And can you just walk us through the accident, how it occurred?
Let me show you guys the car real quick.
There was a stop sign. And it was a intersection. There was a stop sign. It was a four-way intersection, and there was a truck that went through their stop sign, and we already had stopped, so we were going and ended up hitting that car, the truck.
Did law enforcement respond to that accident?
Yes.
Did you see an officer?
Yes.
Were the officers able to see Harmony?
No.
Wow.
Tell the jurors why not.
Adam didn't want the officers to see her because she had black eyes, so she was covered with a blanket.
Were there other people, specific individuals that he would cover Harmony up and keep her hidden from?
Yes.
And tell us who those individuals were.
It was Anthony Badero, and when Tabby was in the car, she didn't look at her, she didn't see her, but she knew she was in the car.
Kayla, so this accident occurred on November 29th.
Yes.
I want to turn your attention to December 7th of 2019.
Yeah.
Does that day stand out to you?
Yes.
Why?
It's the date that Harmony passed away.
The day that Harmony passed away?
Yeah.
Were you still living in the car at that point?
Yes.
Were you still sleeping in the Colonial Village parking lot?
Yes.
In that car that I show you guys.
You mentioned Harmony having accidents and then becoming more frequent at that point. On December 7th, was she still having those accidents?
Yes.
And had they increased in frequency?
Yes.
Did Harmony have an accident first thing in the morning?
Yes.
And that would have been before you started your day?
Yes.
What happened when she had that accident?
Adam repetitively kept punching her in the head.
Okay. So I want to break that up. That morning, where did you wake up?
At Colonial Village.
And what happened first thing in the morning that morning?
We went to the methadone clinic.
And before you left for the methadone clinic, did Harmony have an accident?
Yes.
And what did the defendant do before you went to the methadone clinic? What did the defendant do to Harmony after that accident?
He was yelling and screaming at her and punching her in the head.
How did she react to that?
She was crying.
You mentioned the methadone clinic. Was that Habit Opco?
Yes.
And what did you do at the methadone clinic that morning?
Got my dose of methadone, and Adam got his also.
And do you remember who went in first?
No, I don't remember who went first.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Let me skip this.
Bill, I'm handing you what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 89.
Okay.
I'm just going to ask that you review the second page.
I'm going to skip through this, okay, guys?
Kayla, can you tell the jurors what happened when Adam returned to the vehicle after his methadone treatment?
When Adam came back to the vehicle, he could smell urine, and he started yelling at Harmony and kept hitting her in the head
Wow.
repetitively.
So he wasn't even done.
Where were
With
you when he smelt that accident? Where was the vehicle when he smelt that accident?
In front of the methadone clinic.
Did you discuss going somewhere with him at any point that morning? Going to get food?
Yes. I asked to go to Burger King.
You asked to go to Burger King.
Yes.
And so at some point, did he begin driving the vehicle?
Yes.
Was that before or after he repeatedly struck Harmony?
After.
What was Harmony doing at that point when he started driving the vehicle?
She was crying a lot.
She was crying a lot.
Yeah. And she was making a weird noise.
Was she saying anything?
No.
And Kayla, I want you to walk the jurors through in as much detail as you can what happened on your route from Habit Opco to that Burger King.
Adam was getting really angry from Harmony peeing in the car, and he repetitively kept punching her on the way to Burger King, and there were a couple red lights, and when we were at red lights, he would go over the driver's seat, like in between the passenger seat, and he was just punching her
What the
repetitively
hell?
in the head.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wow. Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Okay.
And you've said there were several times where he punched her repetitively in the head.
Yes.
How many times did he hit her?
I can't count. I don't know.
Were you counting?
No, I wasn't.
How many lights did that car come to where he repetitively struck her?
At least 2 or 3.
Jesus.
Between Habit Opco and the Burger King, did the defendant say anything to Harmony?
Told her to shut the fuck up. Stop crying.
He said she was making a weird noise.
Yes.
Can you describe it?
It was like I can't even describe it. It was like a moaning kind of noise, but crying. It was just weird. I can't explain it.
Did you try to help Harmony while he was striking her?
Yes.
Tell the jurors what you did to try to help.
I put my arm up and said to stop, but he looked at me and he gave me this look that was like evil. It's his crazy eyes. I didn't like it, and I couldn't stop him from hitting her because the look that he gave me was scary. I was scared.
I'm wondering how much of this part is true. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if this part is even true, because unless there are other, weren't there other people in the car as well? Like one of the other kids, maybe somebody else saw this aside from Adam, that can actually concur and confirm what she's saying here. But I think she's straight lying about this. Oh yeah, I jumped in. I interjected. I blocked one of the blows so that to try to get his attention and try to calm him down. But then he gave me this evil look, and therefore I just backed off because I was scared. I don't know. Me, I'm sitting there going, I don't give a damn how scared I am, how monstrous this person is, how volatile he is to me or not. I'm jumping right in front. If it has to do with the kid, I don't care. I'll take the blows. I'll take the hits. I'll take the pain. It's like, yo, you hit me. Don't hit her. Hit me. Don't hit her. Something. You know what I mean? Something. But you're telling me that you sat there, you didn't do, and then you just blocked him. And then suddenly, because he gave you this look, like, you're just like, okay, whoa, continue. Like, that's insane to me. I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't. Okay? It doesn't. It's a 5-year-old kid, guys. 5, Damn.
What were you feeling when he looked at you like that?
Like he was either going to hit me or just, I don't know. It was weird. And that was like one of the first times that I've seen him look at me like that.
Was it the last time you saw him look at you like that?
No.
And we'll talk about that more. But I want to focus on this drive. You said that Harmony's crying. She's making this weird noise.
Yeah.
Where was she in the vehicle?
She was behind the passenger seat.
And who was in front of her in that car?
I was.
You described the defendant almost coming over the seat.
Yes.
Was he still driving at that point?
Some, like, kind of. Like, between the red lights, and it definitely at the red lights. I remember that.
How was he striking her?
By punching her in the head.
Where were your other 2 children at that time?
In the back seat.
What were they doing?
They had no idea what was going on.
How old were they?
Seamus was about 2.5, and Declan was 11 months old.
Did you look back at Harmony at any point?
No,
Why not?
because I was scared.
What were you scared of?
If Adam was going to say something, or if he hurt her really bad, it was going to look really bad.
You were scared of what Harmony would look like? That attempt to intervene, were you successful in that?
No.
Did he stop after that?
Shortly after that,
Shortly after that. Did he say anything to you when he stopped?
he said he thinks that he really hurt her. But he felt something.
He felt something. So what he feel?
When he said that he thinks he really hurt her, where was the vehicle at that point?
At Burger King?
At the Burger King?
Yes.
And what did the defendant do after he stopped hitting Harmony, after he said, I think I really hurt her?
Nothing.
Did you order food from Burger King?
Yes.
Even after the fact.
Where was
Okay.
Adam when you were ordering food from Burger King?
Trash?
In the driver's seat.
Did you go inside to the Burger King or something else?
No. I don't remember going in there.
Did you go through the drive-thru?
Yes.
And so who ordered the food?
Adam did.
And what did you do with the food that he had ordered?
Ate that stuff.
Ate it, gave some to the kids.
But not Harmony?
Where were you when you ate the food?
Trash.
In the parking lot
Which parking lot?
of Burger King.
Now, the kids were behind you at that point.
Yes.
Is that what you testified to?
Yes.
And who gave them food?
I did.
Did you see Harmony when you were giving them food?
No.
Why not?
Because she was under the blanket.
Who put her under the blanket?
Adam.
You just threw a
That's
blanket
the
over
same
her.
blanket that you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
The same blanket he would cover her with?
Yes.
If she messed herself.
Where did you go from the Burger King parking lot, Kayla?
Went back to Colonial Village
And how did you get there?
with the vehicle. Adam driving.
Was Harmony still under the blanket when you arrived at Colonial Village?
Yes.
And that moaning that you mentioned, that weird noise that she was making, was she still making it?
No.
How long did that noise that she was making last?
Good question.
I
I'd like to know too.
don't remember.
Probably not.
wasn't-
Probably not for a very long
I
time.
don't remember.
Probably for a short while.
I don't remember if it was too long. I don't remember if it was after we were at Colonial Village for a little bit or if it was before.
But that moaning, did it eventually stop?
Yes.
Did you check on Harmony at any point after the moaning stopped?
No.
Did Adam?
No.
Why didn't you check on her?
Good question.
Because I was scared.
When you arrived
Trash.
at the Colonial Village parking lot, when you arrived back there, what did you and the defendant do?
We got drugs and got high.
When you say we got drugs and got high, what drugs did you get, Kayla?
Heroin and crack.
Question. See, this is the part that doesn't make any sense to me. Because then they go to the methadone clinic. Isn't that where they went? And then they left the methadone clinic. And then she had messed herself. And then he got mad. And then that's where the tragedy ensues. He loses himself as he's on his way to Burger King, reaching over and doing what he did to her while he's driving the car to Burger King. Yet still after the fact, they still went to go get stuff. And do I have this timeline correct? That doesn't make sense, right? Isn't the clinic supposed to be, that whole point of taking it is to block the feeling of a certain chemical that a certain party favor. I hate to use that for such hard stuff like H in crack, but at the same time, isn't that right? Isn't that what that does? It blocks the high. So why did they go and get? I mean, I get the crack, but the H. Why were they still trying to chase the dragon when they have something in their system? If they actually went to the methadone clinic. You see what I'm saying? What? They just wanted to go through the action of pumping this crap into their veins or something? That doesn't make sense. Because apparently when you take H, if you are on methadone, you're not supposed to feel the effects of anything when it comes to that specific party favor, right? So was it just the act of doing it? Just to feel like they're doing it, and then on top of it with the smoking that rock? I don't know, but like I said, that's a little weird. They went to methadone, then they went. This tragedy ensued. Then after that, and I get it, maybe because of anxiety, etc. What just transpired? This young girl possibly losing her life, or her losing her life at that time. Maybe they knew at that time. So through anxiety, nerves, etc., they're like, I need to numb myself. I need to distance myself, disassociate from this crime. So they went and got the stuff that they usually get. But that is a bit odd, right? It is a bit odd. Anyway, it's just something timeline is a little weird. But again, these drugs be drugs out here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
How long did you use those drugs for in that parking lot?
Probably we were there for probably 10 or 15 minutes.
Where did you go from the Colonial Village parking lot?
I don't remember where we were going, but I know we left.
You left at some point.
Yes.
And what happened when you left the parking lot?
We made it to the next street over, going towards Elm Street, and the car died when we got to the traffic light, and it wouldn't start or anything, and so we were stuck without a vehicle.
What was the defendant doing when the car died?
He was trying to get a jump, and there was no jumping the vehicle, and so we ended up having to leave it. And when we were getting out of the car and getting the kids out of the car, Harmony had passed away.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. We're gonna continue, but we'll just take a little bit of a breather here for 2 seconds. Thank you so much, Thumper Z. Thank you so much for being a member for the past 3 months. I really do appreciate the support. You said, "I'm sorry, but you would have to take me out before I would let that happen." Angry face. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I mean, I would have hopped in front of it. I don't care. I mean, yeah, I don't like the next person. I don't like pain, right? I don't like getting, struck. But at the same time, if it was a child between a innocent, fragile baby, little girl or boy, a child, I would jump right in front of it and be like, you know what? Hit me. Just attack me. Take it out on me. This is a 5-year-old kid. 5. Okay. So to me, you can miss me with that nonsense with what Kayla is saying here. That's just my personal opinion. But then at the same time here, the other pieces of information here are absolutely devastating as well. The fact that they went to Burger King, they did all this stuff, all the, fed the other kids, but didn't even bother to check on her, check under the comforter to see if she's even okay. just let her be as the other kids ate their food, as the other people in the car ate their food. Car ran out of juice. They were looking to get the car jumped and then suddenly find this little girl, Harmony Montgomery, 5 years old, gone in the backseat. And there's more.
When you say Harmony had passed away, when did you realize that Harmony had passed away?
When Adam was trying to wake her up and she didn't reply or anything.
Was he saying things to her to try to wake her up?
Yeah, he said Harmony, and he kept saying baby girl, like, and trying to budge her, and there was nothing.
Was he touching her?
Yes.
What was he doing to her body at that point?
Trying to figure out what to do and getting all the kids out of the car. He took the duffel bag that was in the trunk and and put her in the duffel bag.
You mentioned this duffel bag from the trunk.
Yeah.
Had you seen that duffel bag before, Kayla? What was it used
Yes.
for?
When we got kicked out of the house, we put clothes in there for everybody. And it was in the trunk of the car.
Did you see him put Harmony in that duffel bag?
Yes.
How did he put her in there, Kayla?
He like folded her in half and put her in the double bag.
Did he call 911 at any point?
No.
Did you?
No.
And when you saw him put her in that duffel bag, did you attempt to get away, to run?
No.
Why not?
They had the two other kids and I was scared.
Scared of?
That something would happen to me or Adam and the kids.
You said you saw him put her in that duffel bag, fold her up and put her in there.
Yes.
What did her face look like when you saw her go into that bag?
It was all black and blue, and her face was puffy. Her eyes were puffy.
Did he say anything to you after he put her in that duffel bag?
I don't remember.
What did you do after he put her in the duffel bag?
We took the kids and we walked back to Colonial Village.
Like nothing happened.
What did you do once you arrived at Colonial Village?
Put the bag in the snowbank so Anthony wouldn't see it.
I'm sorry, so that who wouldn't see it, Kayla?
Anthony.
That's Anthony Badero.
Yes.
Where was the snowbank that you put? And sorry, let me clarify. Who put her in a snowbank?
Adam.
Where was that snowbank that he put her in?
In the embankment from the parking lot.
What was around that snow embankment?
A dumpster. and cars and snow.
You said he put it in there so that Anthony Badero wouldn't see.
Yeah.
What did the defendant do after he put that duffel bag in the snowbank?
Left her there.
In a snowbank,
And
By
we
a-
got a ride from
a dumpster.
Ladero to get the stuff out of our car.
And where was your car at that point?
It was at that street. We ended up leaving it, and when we came to the car, it was already getting towed.
So Mr. Badero gave you a ride back to your vehicle.
Yes.
Were you able to get belongings out of the vehicle?
Yes.
And who did that? Who got those items out?
Adam and myself.
That vehicle was your home at the time.
Yes.
What did you do after that in terms of a shelter?
But Daryl let us sleep in his car for the weekend until I figured something out.
Just for the weekend.
Yeah.
Freaking trash.
Is that what you had asked him for? Or is that what he said, just for the weekend?
That's what he said.
And what kind of vehicle did Mr. Badero have?
An Audi
Do you remember what color it was?
blue.
Was it a car, a sedan, or an SUV?
A car.
And I want to talk about the time that you were living in that car that weekend. Where was Harmony's body at that point when you were living in Mr. Badero's vehicle?
In the trunk of the car.
And did the defendant ever move it from the trunk of the car to another location?
Yes.
Where would he put it?
Near the dumpster.
Why?
So Anthony wouldn't see it.
Was it cold outside at the time?
Yes.
You mentioned snow. Was there snow on the ground?
Yes.
Did something happen to the vehicle that first night you were staying in Mr. Badero's car?
Yes, the battery died.
What did the defendant do when the battery died?
I'd like to know too, man, because she was scared
Used
apparently.
somebody's phone and called Miss Frayne.
Is that Kimberly Frayne?
Yes.
Are you aware of him communicating with any other people regarding the dead car?
Not that I remember.
At that time, did the defendant have a Facebook account?
Yes.
Do you know if he had a Facebook account?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
But you recall a call to Miss Frayne.
Yes.
And what happened after that call?
She showed up with a battery pack jumper to jump the car.
Was she successful in jumping the car?
Yes.
And what were you doing while that was going on?
I was in the car with the kids,
Where was Miss Frayne?
outside of the car with
Where-
Adam.
I was going to ask, where was the defendant? Where was Harmony at that point when the car was being jumped?
In the trunk of the car.
What did you and the defendant do for food during your time in Mr. Badero's car?
Bodero bought us pizza and brought it down to the car.
You mentioned being there for 2 nights,
Yes.
and the first night the battery died.
Yes.
When was the pizza given to you?
I think it was the next night. Because he did give us food. for a couple of dinners. He gave us food. We had the pizza and stuff like
Could you repeat that, please?
a couple of nights we got pizza.
Woo.
And did you leave Mr. Badero's vehicle after that weekend?
Yes.
After those 2 nights you left?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors where you went?
I went to my aunt's house,
And what's your aunt's name?
Kimberly Simmons,
Where did Miss Simmons live at the time?
in Manchester.
Was she on South Main Street?
Yes.
And how did you get to your aunt's home?
Bodero dropped us off.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Man.
May I approach?
Yes, you may.
So, Kayla, I'm going to hand you 3 exhibits. And I'm just going to ask that you look at the first one and look at what you need to do. So that first one, what's been marked as State's Exhibit 25 for identification, do you recognize what's depicted on that item?
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors what it is?
It's the apartment that my aunt lived in.
That again is on South Main Street.
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of your aunt's apartment?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I move to strike ID and mark as full State's Exhibit 25.
Any objection? The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit.
Now, Kayla, when Mr. Badero dropped you, the defendant, and your 2 children off, where was Harmony's body?
In the duffel bag.
And who had that duffel bag?
Adam.
And what did he do with that duffel bag when you got to your aunt's house?
He placed it under the porch.
And you pointed at the exhibit just now. If you could just hold it up and show the jurors where you're pointing. Can you show me where you pointed? If you can take a look at Exhibit 20, 26, and 27, what's been marked as ID for 26 and 27. What's depicted on those 2 items?
The porch. Up close.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of your aunt's porch?
Yes.
Is there a difference in the 2 photos?
Yes. 27 has measuring tape, looks like.
And Your Honor, at this point, I move to strike the ID and mark as full State's Exhibit 26 and 27.
The ID is stricken. They're entered as full exhibits.
And I move to publish these for your review.
Yes, you may.
You mentioned the defendant putting Harmony's body in a duffel bag under the porch.
Yes. Yes.
This is the porch that he put her under.
Yes.
Did you go into the home that day, into your aunt's home?
Yes.
How long were you there for, Kayla?
A few hours. We were trying to figure out where to go.
What was the purpose of your trip to your aunt's home?
To talk so that she could talk to my mother so that she'll let us stay at her place.
What's your mother's name?
Christina Lubin.
So if I understand, you wanted your aunt to talk to your mother.
Yeah.
Did you end up seeing your mother that day?
Yes.
How did you come to see her that day?
She came to pick us all up, myself, Adam, and the kids, the 2 boys,
Where was Harmony at that point?
in a duffel bag.
And how did your mother pick you up? How did she arrive
Unbelievable.
at your aunt's home?
She came in her van.
And what happened to that bag that Harmony was in when your mother came to pick you up?
We put it in the van.
And when you say we put it in the van, who put it in the van?
Adam.
How long did Harmony's body stay in the van?
Probably about 5 to 10 minutes.
Was it in there while you were traveling somewhere?
Yes.
Where were you going?
To my mother's place.
Damn, they moved
Did
this
the
baby
defendant keep
around.
Harmony's body in the van?
They moved this baby
For
around,
the
y'all.
drive, yes.
What did he do with Harmony's body when you arrived at your mother's home?
Oh,
He
this part's jacked up.
took it out of the van and he put her on the side near the trash at first until he figured out where to put her.
And what did he figure out in terms of where to put her?
There was a cooler in the hall walkway that the residents used to get in and out of the building, and it was on my mom's floor level in the hallway. And he put the cooler he put the duffel bag in the cooler.
And what was in the duffel bag at that point?
Harmony.
Good God.
So he
man.
removed her from the trash and he put her in this cooler.
Yes.
Her body was still in the duffel bag at that point.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Take a little second. Okay. So this piece of trash was literally moving this little girl around like she was a bag of trash. She was in a duffel bag. He put it off to the side with I guess next to the garbage pails that were at her family's house. Then he took this duffel bag, put this duffel bag in a cooler, but this was after moving this little girl around many different times. Okay? Many different times. And he just sat there not knowing what to do. What the hell? What the hell, y'all? What the hell? Okay? What the hell? And what one thing I want to point out, I don't think anybody's ever talked about this. Maybe they have. Okay. People have been covering this case very beautifully and extremely diligently since the time that they said that she was missing back in 2021. But what about the kids? What about those two other kids that were in the back seat that were witnessing all of this too? Let's not forget that. There were kids in the back seat seeing all of this as well, seeing what this father was doing to their own half-sister or, their own sister, their own half-sister. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? So they're witnessing all this stuff too. And I can only imagine what are these kids going through? How are these kids? How are these kids right now? Because they witness all this as well. Real quick, let me get these super chats just to kind of release some of this because my God. And yeah, I know it doesn't get any better, but it's mind-blowing that this is the timeline, allegedly, of what happened to her remains after he took her soul. It's unbelievable. Just saying, thank you so much for the 5. Thanks for covering this, Pascal. All children deserve a hero in their lives. The girl had none. Exactly. She had 0 heroes, and it's sad. I mean, it seemed like the foster parents that she had when she was in the system and all that seemed like she was in better hands there. I just don't understand how, and they of course testified, I think on day 1, if I'm correct. So it just doesn't make any sense how this young girl got back into the disgusting, monstrous hands of these of this monster and this monster too. because she sat down. She is just as guilty. She allowed this stuff to happen. Kayla sat there and watched idly by as this man was discarding this young baby's body like it was nothing, like it was trash. Unbelievable. She had no heroes. And it's sad because there are a lot of kids out here. They're in the same situation like Harmony. Only difference is they're still alive and they have to endure this type of It's unbelievable. Rook, thank you so much for the 2. I hope they both get the maximum. Hi, Pascal. Yes, I hope they get the maximum as well. I hope that they do, and I hope that they live hell every freaking day. That's just me, though. Let them live, but let them live a very, very hard, torturous, hellish life. Let hell on earth be on them while they're behind bars, and keep them behind bars forever. No kid should be erased on this planet in any type of fashion, let alone this type of way. Elin, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Jen, thank you so much for being a member for the past year. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This sickens me, poor baby. Absolutely. You know, this is why I'm still heated. This is why I'm heated. Okay? This is exactly why I'm heated. Okay? And this is the thing. Some people are like Miss Gloria is saying, the DP. Here's the thing, though. Is that really justice served for people like this? I think that there's a time and place for the DP, for the ultimate price. You know what I mean? When you are made to get checked out by the government, okay? When they pull flip the switch or inject, whatever it is. But some other people deserve to go through hell, to live their life behind bars, going through the worst experiences in the world. Because that, to me, is justice. That's karma, baby. That's what I think. As soon as you erase them, no suffering, no bad times, no opportunity for that person to really get what they deserve. A story like this, nah. If I was blood to this family, I'd be like, nah, son, nah. Don't give them. No, that's an easy way out. Don't give them no DP. Hell to the no. Put them in maximum security prison where they got to worry about dropping the doggone soap. Okay? Let them go find the nation of the Aryan nation. Okay? And they got to get tattooed and become somebody's B. Let them go and suffer. Suffer. That's what I want to see. Let them suffer. Suffer. Because that's karma, and that's exactly what they deserve. When you just pull the plug or flip the switch or inject, hey, that's the easy way out. That's a ticket out. Freedom. Hell no. Keep them incarcerated. Let them go through hell. Let them go through hell. That's what I say. Especially for Harmony, that's what for me, that's what it feels like. Justice would be served for that. I will sleep well, knowing that justice is being served every day. Whenever they have to look over their shoulder, eat the disgusting food that they have to eat there, constantly be worried about what the next their cellmate is saying or thinking while they go and rest their weary little head on those cardboard pillows. Okay. That's justice to me. Oh, and especially, dropping the soap. And oh my God, please drop the soap every day. Please and thank you. Because then that would be justice served every time. That's just me. But let me continue, because this thing boils my blood. It burns my cookies. But let him get the worst if this judge is savage. And I hope this judge is. Let's continue.
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
So I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 28 for identification.
Yes.
Do you recognize that item?
Yes.
What is it?
That is the cooler that was on the porch in my mom's hallway.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the cooler?
Yes.
That's what it looked like.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I move to strike the ID and Martha's full State's Exhibit 28.
Okay. If the ID is stricken, it's entered as a full exhibit.
I move to publish.
Yes, you may.
I'm sorry, real quick, ladies. I'm sorry for the left turn, but I gotta relieve. I gotta throw a little bit of humor in here. Does this attorney have finger waves? It looks like he got a finger wave. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? But take a look at his hair. Does he have finger waves? It looks like he has like one finger. Go on, take a look. It looks like a finger wave. It kind of does, but anyway.
Kayla, how did Harmony's body fit into this cooler?
Adam pushed it in the cooler so it would fit.
Jesus.
Is that something you saw him do?
Jesus.
Yes.
Were there any noises when he did that?
Oh, come on.
Not that I remember.
How long was she stored in that cooler for?
For a couple weeks.
And how long did you stay with your mother for? How long were you with Christina Lubin?
Thank you, Jen.
For a couple weeks.
Did her body stay in that cooler for the entire time you were with your mother?
Yes.
Why?
I honestly don't know.
How often did you see that cooler when you were living with your mother?
Every day. Multiple times a day.
Where was the cooler kept?
In the hallway.
Was that your mother's hallway, or was it?
It was access to everybody who lived in the building, but it was on the level of my mom's apartment.
And tell us about that hallway. What else was kept there?
I don't remember.
Were there other items in that hallway?
I don't remember.
Where did you go after living with your mother?
To the FIT shelter, families in transition.
And when you moved to the families in transition shelter, is that FIT, the FIT shelter?
Yes.
When you moved to the FIT shelter, where was Harmony's body?
Adam put her.
Come on, say it. Just say it. You already know the story. You've been there for years. You already knew. Just say it, girl.
In the ceiling.
Thank you. Don't act like you all brand new about this. Come
of
on.
The room that we stayed in.
Hamburger. This is like, don't act all brand new. I'm sorry, girl. Kayla, don't start acting all brand new suddenly. I was in the ceiling. You knew about this for years, y'all. Come on, man. Don't act all brand new. Don't act brand new. Okay? Damn. Sorry. Lo siento. Pressure points, woosah. Okay? But real quick, thank you so much, Michelle, for becoming a member. I don't know if it's you renewing or you are new, but I do appreciate you joining the family. And just like Michelle, please, by all means, hit that join button down below. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay. But let me continue. But like I said, she's like, don't act all brand new like this is you seeing this for the first time ever in your life. She was missing for 2 whole years. Uno, dos, deux years. I did Frank Spanglish. Okay. But real talk. For 2 years. So don't act all brand new now when you already know about all this stuff. You've been there. You were an eyewitness to this whole mother-loving thing. Please miss me with these tears and this nonsense. I'm sorry. put in the ceiling. And stop. Stop it. Stop. Just stop. You knew about this and you would just sat there and let it be. Okay? You a liar and you a thief. That's all I'm going to say. Continue.
What room did he stay in while you lived with the families in transition? The families in transition shelter, Kayla?
It was the first room. It was room 1.
And how did he access the ceiling to store her in there?
He used the bunk bed and climbed up in the ceiling.
Thank you, Nicoletta.
Was there something that allowed him to access the ceiling that was above that bunk bed?
It was a vent.
Yes,
Who
yes,
slept
Aretha.
through that vent?
The kids.
Where did the defendant sleep?
We all slept on the floor on the mattresses.
She lived with it.
What's been previously marked for identification of states
Hamburger.
30 through 34. Can you please look at each of these items in turn and describe what's depicted?
Nah, son.
This is the outside of the family shelter.
Nah, bro.
And that's States Exhibit 30.
And this is the
Dag,
door
nab, that's
to
loud.
room 1, and next to it is the second room.
And that's Exhibit 30.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Because this stuff is killing me. The ruffling of the papers and stuff. Hamburger. But I do want to point something out, guys. Okay. The reason why I'm saying it with such, I'm just a straight shooter, or at least I try to be as best as I can. The reason why I'm being so callous on this woman is, let's be real. She lived with this for years. She knew. They traveled with Harmony's remains. Let me just say that again. She traveled and was with this young girl's remains for a long time. It gets worse here, okay? Worse. The fact that this woman's sitting here trying to pull out these crocodile tears, in my personal opinion, I think they're crocodile tears. Sure, she feels some remorse, and the reality is setting in, maybe in her possibly sober mind right now. Sure. But at the same time, you sat there, you watched this man do this thing, and you did nothing. You called no one. You took no accountability for anything. You never stepped up and tried to do the right thing, so you can miss me with this nonsense. Okay. Another thing, though, really quick before we continue. All right. Deborah, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. And again, whoa, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you. And if it burns your cookies too, this whole story, please do me a favor and put some cookie emojis in the chat. Okay? Some cookie emojis in the chat. If this burns your mother loving cookies, put it in the chat. All right? So you're right. Who said that earlier? Nicolette said, hey, don't feel sorry for being mad. But, at the same time, this woman saw this man put the baby in a duffel bag, then put the baby later on by trash. Actually, in the back of a van or a U-Haul, if my memory is correct, moved this little baby, took the baby out in the duffel bag buy a whole bunch of trash like she's nothing. Then takes mama's little cooler, jams her in the cooler. Then they let her sit in there for a while they move around. They go to this family in transition, this fit center. They go live in that place, and he takes this little baby again and puts him in the ceiling. And she sat, this is still, we still ain't done yet. All this, during this whole thing, conscious didn't come in to play and go, man, maybe the thing I'm doing right now is not the right thing. Maybe I need to call 911. She didn't call 911. In fact, she just continued letting this happen to the point where it gets worse. you can't write this stuff. And these are the moments when you realize that evil really does exist. Let's continue.
This is the room.
I'm just going to ask to move it a little away from the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
And when you say this is the room, whose room was that?
It was the room that we stayed in.
And that setup, the way the room is set up, is that similar to how it was when you lived there?
Yes.
And that's State's Exhibit 32. Go to State's Exhibit 33. What is depicted there?
The vent above the bed.
And what happened with that vent?
Adam moved it so he could go in the ceiling.
Now, did you ever touch that vent, Kayla?
No.
But you just sat there and let this whole thing go
And
down.
State's Exhibit 34.
It's the vent.
Are those fair and accurate representations? Is that consistent with your memory of what those items looked like?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I move to strike the ID and mark as full State's Exhibit 30 through 34.
Any objection? All right, the ID is stricken. Those are entered as full exhibits and may be published to the jury.
And so, Kayla, I'm holding up what's been marked, or what's been admitted at State's Exhibit 30. What is this item? What is depicted here?
The outside of the family shelter.
How long did you live at this family shelter for?
A month and a half almost.
Remains were in that place for
And State's Exhibit
that long?
30.
Wow.
What's depicted in this image?
The room that was the one we stayed in was on the left side, room 1, and the other room is the second one next to it.
So you stayed in room 1,
Yes.
and you mentioned room 2 being beside it.
Yes.
And State's Exhibit 32 and 33. You mentioned that this was consistent with what the room looked like when you lived there,
Yes.
and those are the bunk beds that you mentioned.
Yes.
Give it time, Thumper. It's coming.
And you said you could see the vent that was used in these images.
Yes.
And can you remind the jury what's in State's Exhibit 34?
That's the vent that he climbed up to and put Harmony in the ceiling.
Jesus.
When you say he climbed up to the Harmony in the ceiling, who is he?
Adam.
Trash. Sorry. Trash.
At the time you were living at the Families in Transition shelter, was there anything going on with Harmony's body? Was she having any changes? Or was her body having any changes?
Like I said, we've
Yes.
only just
How did she tell
begun.
the jurors what those changes were?
You could smell a horrible smell that was coming through the vents.
There it is. How would you? Oh, God. She was
Do
in
you
the
remember
bag.
that horrible smell?
Yes.
Did maintenance come at some point while you were living there because of that smell?
Yes.
And what happened when those maintenance workers came?
Adam took her back down from out of the ceiling
Mm-hmm. And then
and brought the bag in the bathroom.
And what happened when Adam brought Harmony down from the ceiling?
That she was starting to smell and there was fluid leaking.
Can't write this, folks. Can't even write this. Her body decayed that bad and was permeating that kind of smell, so pungent that the facility in which they were at, this family in transition center, started complaining about a smell coming from their room. People came, maintenance came and said, hey, whatever you got in here, it's pretty intense and you need to remedy this problem as quickly as possible. He had this little girl jammed up in a vent above them. So, of course, you got to remember, this baby's in the vent. What do you think is passing through that vent? Air. So that smell is going all everywhere. And I hate to say it so graphically, but that's the truth. So then they take out the baby, who hasn't been properly preserved or anything. It's just been, this baby's remains have just been in a duffel bag this entire time. What does he do with it next? What does he do with this little bundle of joy's remains next? Let's find out.
So you smelt her, and did you see the fluid?
No, I didn't see it.
How do you know about the fluid that was leaking?
Adam said that.
What did he say?
He said that there was blood up in the ceiling and fluid.
And so what did he do with that duffel bag containing Harmony after you removed her from the ceiling because of maintenance?
He put her in a trash bag.
Because that was going to solve the problem?
I'm showing you it's been marked as State's Exhibit 52 for identification.
Yes.
Kayla, do you recognize the item that's depicted in this image?
Yes.
What is that?
The CMC diaper bag.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the CMC diaper bag?
Yes.
And how about State's Exhibit 53?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate representation
Yes.
of the item that's depicted?
Yes.
And what is that item?
It's the bag that Adam put Harmony in.
So you mentioned garbage bags that he put her in.
Yes.
What did he put those garbage bags into, if anything?
He put the garbage bags inside that bag.
So, Your Honor, at this point, I move to strike ID, strike what's been marked as ID and mark as full States Exhibit 52 and 53.
An objection?
And I move to publish, sorry.
52 and 53, the ID is stricken. They're entered as full exhibits and they may be published to the jury.
This really breaks my heart.
How did Harmony's body fit into this bag?
Adam squished her in it.
Sorry, can you say that a little bit louder?
Adam
Yeah.
squished her into the bag.
Yep. So he manipulated the body even more to fit into the bag.
Yeah, I'm showing you it's been marked for identification
Jesus.
as States Exhibit
Fuck, man.
85. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Is this similar to that CMC bag?
Yes.
Is it in fact identical to that CMC bag?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I move to strike the ID of States Exhibit 85 and mark as full and publish to the jury.
An objection?
No objection.
The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit.
So the defendant put Harmony into garbage bags and he squished her into a bag like this one.
Yes.
And this again was at the families in transition shelter.
Yes.
Where did he do that to her?
In the bathroom of the room that we stayed in.
Were you in the bathroom with him when he did that?
No.
Did you hear anything when he was doing that to her in the bathroom?
I heard a loud bang.
Could you see what was going on in there?
No.
You mentioned the defendant stuffing Harmony into the duffel bag
Yes.
at that intersection in the car guide.
Yes.
And then you mentioned him squishing her into this bag.
Yes.
Did she fill that bag, that CMC bag that you just saw?
Yes.
Her body filled that bag?
Yes.
And what did he do with the bag after he put her in there?
Okay, sorry, 1 second. Oh, this is killing me. This is killing me. Yeah, that was one thing I wanted to point out. M. Roberts said, OMG, look at how small that bag is for a child's remains. And let's be real. Unless you he manipulated her remains to fit in there. And yeah, that bag is small. But she didn't seem like she was a very big kid. So she could have been, small in stature. But at the same time, the fact that he still was manipulating her in a way so that she could fit into that CMC diaper bag is really, it hurts. It just hurts hearing it. Real talk. Darzilla, real quick, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Again, thank you. And thank you, Michelle B. Thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much. Please consider hitting that join button down below. Guys, we talk about a lot of things, and we hold hands going through trudging through some of the darkest waters. Real talk. This is one of those moments. So I appreciate all y'all watching with me. I wouldn't be watching. I wouldn't be going through this without you guys. So I appreciate you guys watching with me. Let's continue. Let's hear what she has to say.
He put her back in the ceiling.
You mentioned being at the Families in Transition shelter for a month and a half.
Yes.
During that time, did the defendant begin discussing disposing of Harmony, getting rid of her body?
No.
At some point, did he begin discussing disposing of Harmony, getting rid of her body?
Yes.
And what was his plan? What was his idea for getting rid of her?
To use lime.
Lime.
And dismember her.
There we go.
What did he believe that lime would do if he used it on her body? Did
The objection is sustained. So you can rephrase the question, please.
Did the defendant tell you what he believed lime would do if he used it on Harmony's body?
Yes.
What did he tell you?
That it will help decay.
Let me just say this. I'm going to read this to you guys really quick because I just looked it up, and the things I've looked up on Google, is insane. But real quick, all right, as far as lime for remains, all right, just so you know, it says it is commonly held belief that lime can be used to enhance the speed of decay, to reduce the likelihood of detecting a body, to destroy evidence, and that ultimately lime will lead to the rapid and total destruction of human remains. For this reason, lime is often observed, in other types of burials, but still, no matter what, this guy either Googled this or knew about this. And remember, didn't he kill a guy? in his past. So this guy is just as monstrous before this too. So I'm wondering if he Googled this really quick on his phone, or somehow knew this just by knowing. But again, he wanted to use lime. He wanted to use lime. Yeah. To try to cover up the tracks and to speed up the process of deterioration. Let's continue.
Her body.
That it would help decay her body?
Yes.
Did he tell you what he believed dismembering her would do?
No.
But he told you that that was his plan?
Yes.
Counsel, can you approach for just a minute? A stand, ladies and gentlemen. As I had said to you, we will take a mid-morning break. I think this is a good time to do that.
Okay, that is part one. Hold on, because I'm gonna, I think I have part two here, and so I want to share as much as I can. Like I said, of course, this is when things are getting even thicker, and we want to know exactly what the hell's going on here, right? And so, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy on. Like I said, you can't make this stuff up. You really cannot make this stuff up. Hold on, guys. Sorry. A little bit of a hiccup. Wait, hold on. Okay. Now, hold on. Let me make sure I got this right. All right. Because my thing is, yeah, I guess she does come back with a ponytail. So I just wanted to make sure I'm not on crack. All right. That I didn't lose my mind. All right. But she does come back in a ponytail. Here's the second part. Obviously, I'm going to try to play as much as I can. Okay. In this. All right. But again, I mean, they took a break. Now we're at this part, the second half of today. Okay. Or the second half of her testimony. All right. And yeah, this is just bad. I mean, like I said, you were a part of it. You allowed this to happen. You allowed this to go down. Then let's go all the way back. Let's do some reverse math really quick. Before Harmony lost her life, she still was put in the hands of a very dangerous person. She was still put in the hands of two very dangerous people, because you got somebody who complied, somebody who became an accomplice after the fact. Okay. She watched and saw this whole thing and said nothing. And I get the whole part of being scared and all that, etc., being manipulated. I get that part. But this dude straight up did all this stuff. She had plenty of time to step forward and speak out. And she didn't. That's wild. She is just as guilty. She is just as guilty of doing this crime as the man who actually threw the punches and the one who's bagging her up and doing all this kinds of stuff that he ended up doing. The other thing too is the audacity of this mother lover not even showing up to his own trial. I still don't get why that's okay. I still don't get why he's allowed to do that. He has a choice to not show up. That's insane to me. In fact, it should automatically mean, like, if you don't show up, you forfeit. If you don't show up to your own trial, you're basically saying you guilty. So lock him up. Why go through this whole trial? And I get it. The law is different, and the laws are weird and all that crap in every single state. They all have loopholes and whatnot, but that's so weird that this man is not sitting inside that trial, sitting through all of this. Then he might have the audacity to take the actual stand himself, to testify on his own behalf. Oh, it's coming. I'm sure he will, because clearly he has some sort of ego on him, megalomaniac, narcissistic piece of trash, that he's like, hey, I don't need to be there, but I'll be there when I need to talk. I don't want to sit through all this stuff. You kidding me? You should be sitting through all this stuff. This is part of the punishment so that you know exactly what you did. Sit through this whole thing. That is part of it. But he's not. Some wild stuff, y'all. This jury, I'm sure, already is sitting here going, man, him guilty. We don't care. Let her yap. Let her wag those, wag that tongue and keep smacking them gums. Tell us everything. That's fine, girl. That's fine, girl. But I don't care. Him guilty. That's what I feel like the jury's doing already. You have that much disrespect for the court that you're not even showing up to your own trial? Bro, you ain't Trump. You know what I'm saying? You ain't Nicki Minaj, and you damn sure ain't Obama. So why do you think you above the law? Huh? If he does walk into trial and he sits on that stand, man, I hope the prosecution makes a meal out of that mother lover. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, let me get off my soapbox. Let's continue on. I'm going to try to do as much as I can within this. Okay? I'm going to say, yes, I said it, Miss Anonymous. Man, you ain't Trump. Okay? You ain't a politician. You ain't not Nicki Minaj. Okay? Where you could be supported by your barbs and whatnot. All right? You just a regular piece of trash that thinks that you're above the law. You can go F yourself. Thank you very much. Let's continue on with this crazy testimony.
29,
Yes.
and that's the day after Thanksgiving,
Yes.
a couple of days after you got evicted.
Yes.
And after that, on the same day of that accident, you actually went with the family to your mother's house.
Yes.
And so you, Harmony, Declan, and Seamus are there with your mother and her boyfriend and Adam.
Yes.
You were not in the car at that time.
No, we were inside the apartment.
And Harmony was not under a blanket.
No.
On the
Hold on. I am not. Just to answer your question, Amanda, no, I am not. All right. And the barbs don't come after me. I'm just saying. All right. I'm not a fanatic. All right. But let's move on. All right. Let's move on.
December, what is it? Second, you and Adam got in another bit of a fender bender, right?
Yes.
And that was out near Market Street, right?
Yes.
And the kids were not in the car that time, right?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that they were not in the car?
I don't remember if they were in the car or not.
Okay. So do you remember talking to the police about that traffic accident
Yes.
and telling them that you thought, where'd it go? That Harmony was being babysat by Tabitha Scott?
Yes.
Because Harmony and Declan and Seamus were not in the car that accident, right?
From when I was being told,
Wait,
asking to remember
Yeah,
that.
I must have. Hold on.
Beg your pardon?
I
was
made
being
it.
asked that question before.
Hold on. This is the other part. My bad. I was like, wait a second. This is the defense. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I am so sorry. Lo siento. Lo siento. Okay. My bad, guys. My bad. This should be the other part. Hold on. Let me just make sure I got all this stuff on point. Let me just get this right. Sorry about that, guys. Because yes, I know that in part during the defense, she starts to complain about having a headache and all that. And I'm like, and so sit through this, get through this, tell them what's going on. Unless you just working so hard to squeeze every tear out your face that's giving you a headache, then that's on you, boo-boo. Okay. But thank you so much for that, for catching that. And of course, I'm going to try to squeeze as much as I can with the defense. I'm just pulling this up really quick. So give me just give me 2 seconds. Okay. While I pull this up, but still I'm trying to pull this, show this as much as we can as well. Let me grab some of these comments here. Unsolved Crimes, thank you so much. I posted yesterday's trial where we heard the opening statements and from the biological mom, foster mom, uncle, etc. Added chapters. It was 5 hours prior to consolidation. Yes, I know. It's a long one. Yesterday's and today's, because it's not only just prosecution, it's also the defense that put in their 2 cents, or cross-examine, and of course are asking her questions as well. But let me make sure. I think this is the continuation of prosecution. Let me share this with you guys. Hopefully I have this right. Hold on.
Montgomery, I remind you, you remain under oath.
Okay. This is part 2. Thank you.
Before, excuse me.
And again, thank you guys so much for catching it. Okay. But like I said, I'm going to do as much as I can here. Okay. In fact, let me see if I can hit the speed on this mug. Can I get speed a little bit faster? Let me see if I can do a little bit faster. Okay. It's going to sound a little weird, but hey,
Before
we're here.
you were telling us about your time in the fit shelter.
Yes.
You mentioned the defendant taking Harmony's body out of that ceiling. She was still in a duffel bag.
Yes.
Brought her into the bathroom. Is that right?
Yes.
And you said when he was in there, you couldn't see what was going on, but you heard a bang.
Yeah.
What was he doing to her?
Trying to fit her in that bag.
When you say trying to fit her into that bag, is that the bag like this one?
Yes.
And you heard a bang while he was doing that.
Yes.
Did you hear any other noises?
No.
How long was he in the fit shelter bathroom trying to fit her into this bag?
About a couple hours.
You mentioned him putting her in garbage bags and then squishing her into a bag like that one.
Yes.
The duffel bag that he had initially put her in, what happened to that duffel bag?
He got rid of it.
Do you know what he did with it?
I don't know what he did with it,
I'd like to know that too.
but it was no longer, we didn't have it anymore.
I'd like to know that, GB.
Was that after the bathroom?
Yes.
You said that Harmony's body was beginning to smell, and that it was horrible.
Yes.
Did the defendant take measures to combat that smell?
Yes.
What did he do?
That is when he took her down from the ceiling and
Lime.
brought her into the bathroom to put her in the garbage bags and to get her to fit in that bag that's similar to that one. And
It's disgusting.
he asked me to bring the bag to his job
Where was his job at the time? Where was he working?
at Portland Pie in Manchester.
This is still while you were at the Families in Transition Shelter?
Yes.
How long did he work there for?
2 months.
And you said he asked you to bring the bag to him at work.
Yes.
Did you obey?
Yes.
How did you get there from the Families in Transition Shelter to his work?
I walked
And where was the bag at that point?
in the stroller.
How long of a walk is that from the shelter to his work at Portland Pie?
About 10, 15 minutes.
Was anyone with you during that walk?
My 2 kids.
Why did you obey the defendant when he told you to bring Harmony's body in that bag to his work?
No kidding.
Because I was scared.
Are you aware of what he did with her body once you brought it to him?
I'm sorry. I was scared. I'm sorry. I don't know. Oh, okay. I know. I still am sensitive to people who are victims of DV, etc., all that stuff. Trust me, I am. But there's still a part of me that's like, really, you're gonna keep saying the reason why I took this bag that had remains and put it in a stroller and took it over to my husband's workplace. Now they took this not only from the trunk of a car to the back of a U-Haul to next to a whole bunch of trash. Let's not forget the snow bed that the little girl was in as well. Okay, then stuffed into a vent in the facility that they were at, then taken out, stuffed into a trash bag, putting that trash bag into a small diaper bag. Now at this facility, and then stuffing it back up into the ceiling. Now it's being put into a stroller and being walked over to his work. And then all the while she's saying the reason why I didn't do this is because reason why I didn't say anything is because I was scared. Really? That's the only reason. And like I said, some of this just doesn't have weight to me. But okay, I get it. People can be victims inside of these things and feel like they're hostage, etc. But at the same time, at some point you can't keep saying, because I was scared. The whole time you were scared the entire time? Maybe you were only scared for your own ass, because you were scared about going to jail. You were scared about prison. You were scared about getting caught. You weren't scared of him at some point. This is a long time, guys. This is a while that this was going down.
Yes.
What did he do with it?
He put it.
Sustained. If you would rephrase the
Your
question.
Honor.
Okay.
You said you're aware of what he did with her body at his work at the Portland Pie Pizza Company. How are you aware of what he did with it, Kayla?
Because he told me that he put her in the freezer.
Was that the only time, to your knowledge, that he put her in the freezer, or were there more times where he brought her and put her in the freezer?
That was
Hold on. Oh my Lord. Okay, so I must have missed this part. So you're telling me he also put her in the freezer of where he was working at the pizza joint? So you went in and put this baby into a walk-in freezer. And I'm wondering if anybody in there may have seen it. What the?
my only time.
Wow.
I want to go back for just a moment.
Wow.
When he was in the bathroom, you said it was for several hours.
Yes.
Are you aware of him doing anything to clean up in that bathroom?
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors what he did to clean up?
He used ammonia to clean up anything that happened in that bathroom.
How do you know he used ammonia to clean up anything that happened in that bathroom?
Because he specifically bought it.
Were you with him when he bought it?
I don't remember.
But you remember him using ammonia to clean.
Yes.
Did he tell you what he believed the ammonia would do?
It wouldn't show evidence of any blood or fluids.
And did he tell you at that point why he didn't want evidence to be shown? Why he didn't want anything to be shown down the road?
So he wouldn't get in trouble and nobody could find anything.
Why did he put Harmony in the freezer at the Portland Pie Pizza Company?
Because he said that if she's in the freezer, there wouldn't be any fluids or anything leaking.
At some point around that time, did you get tax returns, your tax refunds? Do
Yes.
you remember around when that was?
February or March, I believe, in 2021.
So I still want to talk about the time you were at the fit shelter. Did you eventually leave the fit shelter?
Yes.
And where did you live after the fit shelter?
Union Street in Manchester.
Do you remember when you moved into Union Street in Manchester?
Yes.
What day did you move there?
February 20th, 2020.
And did you sign a lease agreement for that apartment?
Yes.
Did you list Harmony as a child?
No.
How about on your tax returns? Did you list Harmony as a child?
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors why you did that?
Because she lived with us for 6 months or more, and Adam told me to leave her on there
Did he tell you why he wanted you to leave her on there?
so that it would just show that we still had her living with us.
So you moved into your apartment on Union Street on February 20th. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And that's of 2020.
Yes.
Where was he keeping Harmony at that point?
In the refrigerator of our apartment.
And I asked you earlier, and I think you said he began to discuss dismembering Harmony.
Yes.
What did he say about dismembering her?
That he just wanted to put her in, he would put her in pieces to get rid of her.
And was that at the Union Street apartment?
Yes.
That's where that discussion occurred?
Yes.
Did he ever discuss using tools on Harmony with you? Using tools on her body?
He said that he was going to try and use a saw. He wanted to use a hand saw or a NutriBullet.
What?
And I want to unpack that.
I'm sorry. Did she just say? Sorry, something just lint flew in my face. Did she just say a NutriBullet? Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. What are they gonna do? Like, do some Sweeney Todd type stuff? This is disturbing, y'all. What?
And a NutriBullet. NutriBullet.
What the hell?
Kayla, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 63 for identification.
Yes.
Do you recognize the item that's depicted in this exhibit? Can
Yes.
you tell the jurors what it is?
It's a handsaw.
It's a handsaw?
Yeah.
Do you recognize this handsaw?
Yes.
When the defendant discussed dismembering Harmony, using tools on her,
Yes.
is this a saw that he discussed doing that with?
Yes.
Is this an accurate representation of that saw as you remember it?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to strike ID, Marcus Full, State's Exhibit 63, and publish to the jurors.
The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit.
So this is the saw that he discussed using to dismember Harmony's body?
Yes.
That discussion again occurred at the Union Street apartment?
Yes.
You talked about something else just then, and we barely caught it. You mentioned a NutriBullet.
Yes.
Can you tell the jurors what that is, what a NutriBullet is?
It's like a blender.
A blender.
That you can make smoothies in or any kind of puree food item.
What did the defendant say about using a NutriBullet, a blender, on Harmony?
When we lived on Union Street,
What did he say about it?
he said that it would be good to use. It would help get rid of her.
It helped get rid of Harmony.
Yes.
Earlier, you mentioned the defendant talking about lime, the idea that what was his idea? What was his purpose of using lime?
That it would help her body decay.
That's what he told you?
Yes.
I'm showing you it's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 62. Do you recognize this item?
Yes.
And what can you tell me about this item? Do you recognize anything, particular markings on this item?
The bag of lime on the left side is similar to the one that he had.
When you say it's similar to the one that he had, who's he? Who's the he
Adam.
you're referring to?
Adam.
And is there a circle around that bag?
Yes.
And is there writing underneath it?
Yes.
Do you recognize that writing?
It's my initials.
Is this an accurate representation of the item that you circled and initialed?
Yes.
Did you write those initials?
Yes.
Did you circle this item?
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
To let it be known that that's the item that was similar to the one that he had.
Your Honor, I move to strike ID and Marcus Full and publish State's Exhibit 62.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. If the ID is stricken, it's entered as a full exhibit and it may be published.
Kayla, who were you with when you circled this bag of lime?
Detective Dunleavy and Riley.
Is that Max Rahill?
Yeah, that one.
Detective?
Yeah.
So you're with law enforcement?
Yes.
And they asked you if you could identify. Have you seen?
Sorry, objection sustained.
Have you seen a bag of lime in your Union Street apartment?
Yes.
Where was that bag of lime located in your Union Street apartment?
in the bathroom.
Do you know how that bag of lime got there?
No,
Did you buy that bag of lime?
no.
When you saw that bag of lime in the bathroom of Union Street, what was going on in that bathroom at the time?
Adam was trying to thaw her body.
When you say Adam was trying to de-thaw her body, what was he doing specifically?
Taking the clothes off of her and putting her in the bag of lime.
And when he was trying to de-thaw her body, where was Harmony's body at the time?
In the bathtub.
And that's when you saw the bag of lime?
Yes.
Did you see Harmony's body in the bathtub?
Yes.
I want you to tell the jurors what you saw of her body in that bathtub.
I saw Harmony in the bathtub, still folded together the same way that she was left in the bag when we took her out of the car. And she just looked like she had just barely any skin, like she was just a layer of skin and bone. And she was all bruised up.
And what was the defendant doing to de-thaw her?
He had the hot water running from the shower
And where was the hot water running in the shower?
in the bathroom,
Where was the hot water running in relation to Harmony's body?
Union Street apartment,
Harmony's body, where was it in the Union Street apartment?
in the tub.
Was the hot water touching her?
Yes.
He was running it over her?
Yes.
And what was he doing to Harmony's body during this process?
Taking the clothes off of her.
Was he touching her at all during that process?
Yes.
Tell us how he was touching her.
He was cutting the clothes off of her and just de-thawing her.
Did he tell you to help him at some point?
Yes.
Did you obey him?
Yes.
Why?
Because she was
I
scared.
was scared.
How did you help him?
Are we surprised about that? Because she was scared. Yeah. Okay. See, let me just say this one thing. At some point, the fear goes bye-bye. She's been living with this. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But she's been living with this for a while now. So fear gone. Okay. Sure, anxiety, there's a little bit of that stuff, all that. But at the same time, like, exactly, Jem, scared can only go so far. She was living with this situation for a good long time. And now we're here at this moment. And you're telling me you're scared? Didn't you roll? Did you put didn't you put Harmony on a stroller? In a bag? Still in that bag, and stroll her? Walk her to hubby's work? Didn't you do all that stuff? So where's this scared stuff coming from? Because you were scared? Maybe you were high, etc. But sorry, it just doesn't. No.
I helped him take the clothes off of her
Tampering.
How did he take the clothes off of her?
by cutting it with scissors.
Tampering.
What did he do with her body after he cut the clothes off of her?
Put her in the bag of lime.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned these clothes.
Tampering.
What clothes was she wearing when you put her into that tub?
She had a hoodie on, and she had her leggings on. That's
Did you leave that bathroom at some point while he was in there?
Yeah.
Why? Why'd you leave the bathroom?
because I needed to check on the kids, and I couldn't be in there anymore.
And let's talk about that. What do you mean you couldn't be there in there anymore?
because I couldn't handle it. I didn't want to see anything.
How long was he in the bathroom for that day?
A few hours.
And that was with Harmony's body?
Yes.
At some point, did he close the door to the bathroom?
Yes.
Were you able to hear what he was doing in there?
No.
Were you able to, why weren't you able to hear what he was doing in there?
Because our neighbor next door always had loud music playing, and I couldn't tell what noises were happening.
You mentioned the shower being on earlier.
Yes.
Did that shower stay on after you left the bathroom?
It was on when I left the bathroom, yes.
And did it stay on? Did he leave it on?
Yes.
Did he take breaks from what he was doing in the bathroom at any point?
No.
Did he leave the bathroom at any point?
No.
How many bags did you see in the bathroom with him?
3.
Exactly.
What was happening with each of those bags?
He had lime in the bags.
Amazing
So
grace.
one of the bags was
Exactly.
a bag of lime.
Yes.
Was it a large bag or a small bag?
The bag that he was putting them in were large trash
The
bags.
bag that contains the lime, was that a large bag or a small bag?
It was a large bag.
A large bag of lime?
Yes.
You said that he was putting that lime into a bag.
Yes.
Was there anything else in the bag when he was putting the lime in?
No.
Did you see Harmony's body go into the bag?
No.
What happened to Harmony's body after it was in the bathtub?
It was in the CMC bag.
What did he do with the CMC bag?
Put Harmony in it.
What did he do with the lime that was in the bathroom?
It was in the big trash bags.
The lime was in the big trash bags?
Well, I know he put the lime in trash bags, but I didn't see that bag after.
Which bag did you not see after
The
that?
lime bag.
Did he also add lime to the CMC bag?
Yes.
Was he talking to you during this process?
No.
He was working.
Yeah.
At any point, did you see him remove Harmony's body from the bathtub?
No.
You mentioned earlier that he put Harmony's body back into the CMC bag.
Yes.
How do you know that he did that?
Because he put the bag back in the freezer after.
You mentioned garbage bags.
Yes.
What was he doing with the garbage bags in that bathroom?
He had the big garbage bags put in the CMC bag and had the lime in the bag.
And that clothing that you mentioned, you used scissors to cut off her clothing.
Yes.
What happened to her clothing? What happened to Harmony's clothes?
It was put in a trash bag.
Was anything else put into that trash bag with her or with the clothes?
Not that the duffel bag.
So you saw the duffel bag again after the fit shelter.
Yes.
And that trash bag that the duffel bag went into, that the clothes went into, what happened to that trash bag?
I don't know.
Did the defendant tell you what he planned to do with that trash bag?
Throw him away.
Did he tell you specifically where he was going to throw it away?
He just said he wasn't going to leave him in our trash area. He was going to bring him somewhere
Did he say why he wasn't going to leave them in your trash?
so that there's no evidence.
Do you recall telling investigators that when you saw Harmony in the bathtub, the defendant was squishing the liquids out of her?
No.
You mentioned earlier the defendant talked about dismembering Harmony.
Yes.
Did he do that in the bathroom?
I don't know.
That conversation about dismembering Harmony, conversation about using the tools, how close in time was that to the steps, the actions the defendant took in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Well, I know that the conversation with the tool happened when I lived with my mother.
Okay.
We were staying at my mother's house. And by the time that he was trying to, I don't even know what he did, but it was a few months after.
You
Months.
mentioned earlier that the defendant squished Harmony at the fit shelter. He squished Harmony into that CMC bag.
Yes.
You said that her body filled that bag.
Yes.
How was he able to add lime to that bag if it was full of Harmony's body?
I don't know.
You don't know what he did in that bathroom.
No.
Real quick, do you believe that or not? Ladies and germs, do you believe that or not? Do you think that she wasn't there, that she doesn't know what happened from the time that he was thawing her out to the point where she was back in the bag? Do you think she was there throughout the entire thing and she's just saying that she didn't see anything? Do you believe what she's saying here, or do you think she's committing perjury right now? I will tell you what I think right now. I think she knew exactly what was going down, but but she's trying to distance herself from the situation. Wasn't she there cutting the clothes? Wasn't she there? She was there tampering. She was tampering with evidence. She was tampering with, manipulating, or, what's the phrase? That the dad that with the Savannah Soto and Matthew Guetta situation, the dad, the shooter's dad, right? And mom, stepmom, I think, are looking at something where they tampered with a body, right? They manipulated or messed with the remains. Same thing here. So why aren't they getting her with this? And also her sitting here saying, so she was there when the clothes were cut and then she didn't stick around? Yes, of course. Yes. Of remains. I got to use these code words, unfortunately, guys, as best as I can. Okay. But still, that's messed up, right? So you're telling me she did the cutting, but then she dips it? Now, I know that there's a possibility where she was like, I just can't do this. I can't do this. And she leaves the room. That's a possibility, but she's been ride or die since this entire time. So up until this very moment, she didn't want to do anything. She's been moving the body around too. She's been carrying it and everything. So you're telling me she didn't do anything with this? Nah, yeah, man, Tracy, I call BS. I call BS. I think she lying through them fat gums. Okay, fat lying gums. That's what I think.
I believe you said this already, but what did he do with the bag, the CMC bag, after he was done in the bathroom?
He put it in the freezer.
She
Did the
lying.
defendant ultimately dispose of what remained of Harmony's body?
I don't know.
Did he
don't
get
know.
rid of her body?
Not then.
At
So you don't know. Okay. That's a lie.
some point.
Yes.
And so I want to turn your attention to that. At some point, did he have a conversation with you about getting rid of that CMC bag, of getting rid of Harmony's body?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors what that conversation involved, what he said?
He said that that he wanted to get rid of her body soon because he was scared that if anything ever happened, he was scared of what would happen to him and me and the kids.
And what steps did the defendant take to get rid of that CMC bag that had Harmony's body in it?
He got in touch with an old friend of his,
Do you remember that old friend's name?
Travis Beach.
Did you know Travis Beach at the time?
No,
Had you met him before?
no.
Do you know how the defendant got in touch with Travis Beach?
I don't know who reached out to who, but I knew it was about selling a gun.
And did Travis Beach ever come to your apartment?
Yes,
Did he come to your apartment with a female?
yes.
Do you know that female's name?
Brittany.
And is that Brittany Bedard?
Yes.
Yes.
Skip through.
Ms. Montgomery, you mentioned a Brittany coming to your house.
Yeah.
Do you recognize the person that's depicted in this image? And I should say for the record, I'm showing Kayla what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 55.
That's Declan.
You recognize the individual in this image?
Hit
Yeah.
that like
Is
button,
that
guys.
one?
Yes.
Please and thank you.
My son.
Hit that subscribe
Did-
button if you haven't done it yet.
Brittany, did she stay at your house for very long?
A couple days.
Okay. And at some point after Travis Beach, Brittany Bedard arrived at your home on Union Street, did you go to a hotel with them?
Yes.
At some point after they came to your house that day, when you went to that hotel with them, did you become aware of a U-Haul?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of this U-Haul?
So that Adam can use it to dispose of Harmony's body.
Do you remember the name of the hotel that you stayed at?
The Econo Lodge.
And you mentioned not having an ID, not having a license. Whose name was that Econo Lodge room under?
Brittany.
Did they stay at the Econo Lodge with you?
Yes.
And were they in the same room as you or a separate room or something else?
Separate room.
When did you first become aware of the U-Haul?
Adam had talked to me about having her rent a U-Haul to use
Did Adam tell you why he wanted her to rent a U-Haul to use?
because she has a license and to have it in somebody else's name
Why did he want that U-Haul rental in someone else's name?
so that they can't prove that Adam rented it.
Did you see the U-Haul rental at any point?
Yes.
Can you describe the U-Haul rental for the jurors?
The rental U-Haul was a van, like a van that like people that do painting would use.
So it was a rental van.
Yes.
And I want to back up for just a moment. You said you were at the Econo Lodge Hotel. Was Harmony's body with you in that hotel?
Yes.
Where was that body? Where was Harmony being stored?
In the fridge.
Did the defendant tell you where he planned to dump Harmony's body?
No.
Did he leave with the rental van at some point?
Yes.
Did he leave with the CMC bag at the same time?
Yes.
When did he leave?
It was in the middle of the night.
Did he say anything to you before he left?
No.
Did he tell you what he was doing?
No, but I already knew what he was doing.
And that's because he told you before.
Yes.
Did he tell you specifically why he wasn't telling you where he was going, where he was dumping Harmony?
I'm waiting for
Yes.
that.
Tell
Why?
the jurors what he told you.
He said he wasn't telling me where he was bringing her, so that if anything like this happened and the cops got involved, that I wouldn't be able to tell. I wouldn't know where she is, so I couldn't tell anybody where she is.
Now, there's a very good reason why she said that, and that makes sense, right? That part makes sense. Her not knowing where the remains of this little girl are, that's a very good reason, right? I don't want you to know, because if they pull you in, you don't get in trouble, because you can sit there and say, I don't know, and it will be the truth. You won't get in trouble, and I won't put you in a situation of lying, right? And the only person that will know exactly where he left her is going to be him. So that if anybody else, he's not going to sit there and tell anybody else, because if they say anything as well, it's like, oh, well, let me get a deal. Let me get a plea deal. I know exactly where she is. He told me, and she's here. You see what I'm saying? So this guy's watched a lot of Law and Order. Okay. Listen to a whole lot of true crime podcasts or something. Okay. But man,
Only he would know.
Kayla, where is Harmony's body?
I don't know.
he truly did not trust anybody. That's what I think as well. He was doing that not only to maybe distance her from this crime, but also to save his own ass as well, right? That's clearly what's going on here. Because again, in some cases, if there's no body, there's no crime, right? In some cases. Obviously, that's not the case right here.
Where did he dump Harmony?
I don't know.
Did he return to the hotel room?
Yes.
And when did he return?
It was like right before the sun came out
Did he say anything to you when he returned?
that he got rid of her.
That CMC bag, the one that he squished Harmony into,
Yes.
was it still with him?
No.
I want to switch gears, Kayla. I told you we'd get back to this, but I want to talk about the time that you were living in the fit shelter, the time you were living in your apartment on Union Street. At some point during that time frame, early 2020, did the defendant begin to suspect that you were informing on him?
Yes.
Did he suspect that you were informing on him about Harmony?
Sustained.
I'll rephrase. What did he suspect that you were informing on him about?
About killing Harmony.
And what did he do because of those suspicions?
He started abusing me.
I want to unpack that abuse. Can you tell the jurors what he did to you?
When he would accuse me of talking to police or detectives, he would ask me if I was telling, and I would say no. And he would say just to tell him the truth. And I wouldn't agree, saying that I did. And then because he would end up hitting me, and I finally said that I did, even though I didn't, but you still hurt me anyway.
You said that he ended up hitting you. He would still hurt me anyway.
Yes.
How did he hurt you, Kayla?
By punching me
Where did he punch you?
in the head.
What did he punch you with, Kayla?
His hands,
Open hand, closed fist, something else?
both,
How often did this happen to you? How often did he do this?
constantly. It just kept happening.
What was it like living with him back then, Kayla?
It was definitely not good.
Do you recognize what's depicted in what's marked as States Exhibit 99, Kayla?
Yes, it's me with 2 black eyes.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of you on that day?
Yes,
Do you remember what day this was?
March 17th.
Is that a 2020 or 2021?
2021.
Your Honor, I move to strike the ID Marcus Full and publish to the jury states exhibit 99.
Any objection? All right, the ID is stricken. It is entered as a full exhibit. It may be published to the jury.
Kayla, you said that the abuse started in early 2020.
Yes.
You said that this photo was taken in March of 2021.
Yes.
You also said that this was a regular occurrence.
Yes.
From the time that the abuse began until you took this photograph,
Thank you, Jennifer.
was it consistent with the defendant? Was he consistently accusing you?
Yes.
Was he consistently hitting you?
Yes.
Was he doing things to items in your house?
Yes.
What was he doing to the items in your house?
Destroying everything. Breaking a lot of stuff.
Why was he breaking things, Kayla?
Because he thought that there was microphones in the house. And I was telling on him.
Thought he was
Thought there was
getting,
cameras.
thought she was wired. That's
He said that he
crazy.
would hit you, that he would hurt you.
Phones were tapped.
Did he also threaten you?
Yes.
Tell the jurors what he said would happen to you.
He said that he would be able to contact his family member, his Uncle Kevin, and have him kill me and cut me in pieces, and nobody would be able to find me.
Did he say why that would happen? Why he would have that done?
If I ended up telling on him
Telling on him about what?
about Harmony being murdered.
What else did the defendant do when he suspected that you were working with the police?
He was very abusive.
During one of those incidents, do you recall trying to call someone for help, trying to get help?
Yes.
And Kayla, let me ask you this. Do you know someone named Roseanne Smith?
Yes.
Who is Roseanne Smith to you?
She was the public transportation for the ride to the clinic.
I want you to tell the jurors about an incident involving Mrs. Smith.
I was going to the methadone clinic and I left without him while he was sleeping because he would tell me we're not going even when our ride showed up, but I ended up going while he was sleeping. And I was getting dropped off and I had a black eye, and Rose saw my black eye and I asked her if I could use her phone to call somebody so I could call my mom or somebody to help me. And he saw that I was using her phone and he came and ripped it out of my and her hand. I was handing her back the phone and he ripped it out of her hand and asked who I was calling. And he was being very aggressive.
Again, you were trying to call for help.
Yeah.
Do you know someone named Tara Hilbert?
Yes.
Tell the jurors about an incident involving Miss Hilbert.
Adam would tell me that I couldn't leave the house, and I ended up leaving and running out of the house, and I had my daughter in my arms, and I ran to Tara's apartment, which was right next door, and asked her if she could call my mom. And then Adam came out and followed me and put me in a chokehold and said to tell her just not call my mom, to don't make that phone call or else he's going to hurt me.
Kayla, why couldn't you leave the house?
Because he thought that I was trying to tell on him.
And let me ask you this, Kayla. When you left the house, were your two small sons still in the house with him?
Yes.
Why did you only take your daughter?
Because she was in my arms. I was already feeding her and I just ran out and to find help, and I could go back and get the kids.
The image that I showed you, you described having bruising, black eyes.
Yeah.
Does that day stand out to you, Kayla?
Yes.
Why does it stand out to you?
Because that's the day that I took the kids and left.
Are you still married to the defendant?
Yes.
When did
Why?
you get married to him?
On Harmony's birthday in 2017.
That's really disturbing. On Harmony's birthday as well. By the way, this is just another example of, because we've heard many cases before where there are parents that will have their favorite child, but then there's the black sheep or the one that's the scapegoat, the whipping boy, etc. They got married on her birthday. To me, that, and of course, this is before she passed, but at the same time, to me, that says something on how unimportant she really was to Adam and Kayla. I know some people may look at that in a different way and go, no, that's, it's cute. It's a nice little, gesture or whatever, it's on a special day. No, it's on the same doggone day as your baby girl was brought into the world. No, hell no. There's plenty of other dates under the sun that you can go get married on. To me, that shows that they didn't give two damns about this little girl. That she was basically the whipping boy. She was the punching bag. Anything that went wrong, she'd get the brunt. She'd get the vicious punishments, whereas the other boys or the other kids could do no wrong type of thing. If daddy is frustrated about something, he just lashes out on her. If he's, going through a heavy withdrawal, etc., he lashes out on her to the point where she actually broke. That says something to me. I don't know about y'all, but to me, that says something. All right, let's continue.
Remember that day, Harmony's birthday?
Yes.
What day was it?
Unbelievable.
It was June 7th.
Trash.
And
Trash.
can you tell us that date again that you left him?
It was March 17th, 2021.
Are you aware of whether or not he began a relationship with another individual after you left him?
No.
Do you know someone named Kelsey Small?
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Kelsey Small?
Yes.
Did officers in December of 2021 contact you regarding Harmony being missing?
Yes.
And you mentioned a lie earlier. Did you stick to that lie?
Yes.
I want you to tell the jurors why you stuck to that lie.
Scared.
Because Adam told me to just stay saying that lie.
And so when they contacted you in December of 2021, you gave them that lie.
Yes.
And after they left you, did you contact Adam?
Yes.
What did he say when you contacted him?
He said not to say anything and to say I want a lawyer and don't tell them where he is.
Where was he at the time?
In Maine.
And did you tell him to get back here?
Yes.
Kayla, do you remember where you were on December 30th, 2021?
I was at the family shelter.
Do you remember going to a Walmart that day?
Yes.
And Kayla, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 65 for identification.
Yeah.
Do you recognize the individuals that are depicted in that image?
It's Kelsey, Adam, and myself.
And can you point to Adam on that image? Is this a fair and accurate representation of you, Kelsey, and Adam at the Walmart on December 30th of 2021?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to strike ID and mark as full State's Exhibit 65.
Any objection? The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit. It may be published to the jury.
And you said, you pointed here?
Yes.
That's Adam?
Yes. That's not him. No.
So it's Kelsey and you.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Whose phones did you trade in?
Mine and Adam's, and I don't know who else.
And can you remind us, who were you with at the Walmart that day?
It was myself, Kelsey, and Adam.
Kayla, we spoke earlier about your convictions.
Yes.
Was that actually part of a plea agreement that you entered into?
Yes.
Of course.
The testimony that you've provided today, what is your testimony based on?
Actually being there?
Is it based on the truth?
Yes.
At some point, you were charged with perjury. We talked about that earlier. But after that charge, did you agree to proffer information, to provide information to the state?
Yes.
What was the sentence that you received for your charges, your perjury charges?
I got a 3.5 to 7 suspended, and then I got a 3.5 to 7 with 1.5 off my minimum.
And what portion of that prison sentence are you currently fulfilling today?
My minimum.
What's the suspended portion of your sentence as a whole?
It's 3.5 to 7 for 10 years.
Other than the sentence conditions and your cooperation agreement with the state, are there additional conditions that you have to follow right now?
To tell the truth.
What happens if you breach that agreement? What happens if you violate that agreement?
Then I get charged with whatever you guys decide to charge me with.
Yeah, you get thrown
With all
back.
my charges that got dropped and whatever else.
Kayla,
Yeah.
what's your primary obligation under that agreement?
To tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And I want to follow up just briefly with a few of the things that you've said. You testified earlier that the defendant told you he hit Harmony back in July of 2019.
Yes.
You said that he gave Harmony a black eye that day.
Yes.
You said that he murdered Harmony on December 7th, that you witnessed him murder Harmony on December 7th, 2019.
Yes.
You said that you saw him carry Harmony's body for months and compressing her, squishing her into a bag.
Yes.
You said that after months of carrying her, he ultimately disposed of Harmony's body.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you if you're able to identify the person that you've said did those things.
Just to make sure.
Kayla, I'm showing you what's been published as State's Exhibit 101. Do you recognize the individual that's depicted in this image?
Yes.
Who is that?
Adam Montgomery.
Is that the Adam Montgomery that you referred to as abusing you for those months and months?
Yes.
The same one that you said gave Harmony a black eye, confessed to giving Harmony a black eye.
Yes.
The same one that beat Harmony to death, that murdered her in the Sebring.
Yes.
Kayla, at any point,
Hamburger.
did you pull Harmony out of the Sebring and stuff her into that duffel bag?
No.
At any point, did you fold her in half, as you described the defendant doing?
No.
Did you walk her to Badero's?
No.
Did you take her and put her in the ceiling of your room at the Fit Shelter?
No.
Did you smush her into a CMC bag like the one I showed you earlier?
No.
Did you compress her further and add lime to her in the bathroom of your Union Street apartment?
No.
She had no
Did you
hand.
put her in a U-Haul van and dump her somewhere?
No.
Who did?
So she saying she has no hand in any of this stuff except being there. So she's just a witness. But she did say some things in there where she said, I helped cut clothes. I did certain things. So she still could catch a charge or something for that. At least I think she could. But let's continue.
those things, Kayla?
Adam Montgomery.
At any point when you were living in that vehicle, after you've been
Hamburger
were you
indeed.
ever alone with Harmony?
No.
Why not?
Because we were just always in the car.
Kayla, I want you to look at these jurors. Kayla, did you kill Harmony?
No, I did not.
Did you beat her to death?
No, I did not.
Were you alone with her when she died?
No, I was not.
Interesting.
If I could have just. Kayla, thank you. I have no additional questions here.
Okay. So we got through. Wow, I'm surprised that I need to do that more often. Okay. I need to do that speed up thing more often. Hell yeah. Okay. But again, we hear her testimony, at least on the prosecution. Okay. When the prosecution are questioning her during her testimony, apparently when the defense comes in, she starts complaining about a headache and all that stuff. And I mean, I feel like the meat and potatoes and the main focus, the main shocking and most telling information is during this testimony. So I'm glad I was able to squeeze this in and we don't have to do a part 2. Yay. Yay. That's great news. Okay, but at the same time, nonetheless, all the information that we received from her testimony, what say you guys? Do you believe it? Do you think she's lying? Do you think she's full of ish? Definitely let me know, because again, she's saying that she saw a whole lot of stuff, but she had no hand in the unaliving, the tampering of things, the use of remains, any of that stuff. She did not have anything to do with any of those things. That's what she's saying. Of course, she's trying to distance herself from the situation as much as she can, but also at the same time, I will say this. That doesn't automatically mean that she didn't have a hand in the, maybe not the unaliving part, but the moving, the manipulation, the A of of Harmony's remains, that still doesn't put her put her out in the clear. She's already been known to go and commit perjury. Okay? She committed perjury when she testified before. When she was brought in for questioning, when they asked her those questions, she testified and she said something completely different during the grand jury. Now, we're here. She obviously was found guilty of perjury. That's why she's being locked up right now for the years that she's spending, because of what she said during that particular proceeding. But now we have her here. Does this mean, is she telling the truth or not? Because remember, she said a whole bunch of stuff back then because she was scared. And of course, she was trying to save and hold it down for her mans. Right? But now it sounds like near the end, if you notice, he asked about another girl. I forgot the name of the girl. I think it was Crystal or something like that. Catherine, Crystal, Katie, Katrina, doesn't matter. But he did mention about another woman. He said, why haven't you, like, you guys are still married, right? She's like, yes. And then he asked about the other woman, right? So was he gallivanting? Was he a gallivanting, swashbuckling scallywag behind her back? That's a question I'd like to know as well. But she was still willing to hold it down for him back then. But now, if it is true that he may have had a side piece near the end of this, could this be her ultimate revenge? I'm not holding it down for you anymore, and I'm going to distance myself from this as much as I can. I wasn't there when he did this, and this in the bathroom. He talked about this, that, and the third. I saw him move the remains here and there. She did move the remains at least once. She did say that. Let's not forget, she put it on a stroller and walked over to the Portland Pizza Company place where they took that bag and put that in the freezer, for crying out loud. So could part of this be half of the what's that word? What's that phrase? The woman scorned thing? Half no fury or something like that, like a woman scorned. I forgot the phrase, but you get what I'm saying. Could it be a scorned lover, a scorned spouse trying to get a little bit of revenge and saying, I will tell you all of it, but I'm not putting myself in the story? So that's a question I need to ask. Could she be committing perjury again? Remember, the only reason why I'm saying this is because she's committed perjury before. And then she was caught in a lie, in those lies. That's why she's locked up. So we can't take off the table the possibility of her stretching the truth a little bit so that she doesn't get more charges for her possible involvement with the unaliving of this sweet 5-year-old little girl, Harmony Montgomery. It's just something to think about. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yes. So I'm just saying, I'm not, she could very well be telling the truth, y'all. She could very well be telling the truth. But she also did a plea deal. So she's out here saying anything so she can get out and be free. But I honestly think that she should be catching more charges. That's just me, though. Okay? That's just me. Now, I get it. The justice system does its thing. And obviously, I feel some type of way about this because of wanting justice for Harmony. So I guess the justice system is going to do what they do. They're going to, eat her up and spit her back out into the world. And then it'll be the streets that will decide her fate. Let's be real. The streets will decide her fate. Or her addictions will decide her fate. Let's keep it a buck. But at the same time, she still was there. She still saw all this. She was around the remains for months, several months. She moved the body around. She was a part of this, and I'm still surprised that she hasn't caught anything harder and harsher than what she's serving right now in prison. And I'm hoping that by her testimony, they are catching her in finding ways to charge her with more stuff, because now, if she really is telling 110% the truth, they got a few things that they can stick some things onto her. But now we got to wait for this mother lover and Adam to come out and speak, if he's actually going to step out, right? That's if he's going to step out and testify on his own behalf. If he does, we're going to be there. I'm still going to keep an eye on this trial. Of course, you guys, I see in the I'm going to end the poll now, but out of 433 votes, you guys say, I mean, it's by a landslide. 97, I'm going to round it up because YouTube does some weird stuff on the polls, but still in the poll, you guys said 97% of y'all say yes, you like the trial recaps of especially this one with Adam Montgomery. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to give you guys as much updates on it from this point on. Okay. For sure. But nonetheless, something just isn't right to me. Something's rotten in Denmark with what she said. Now, I think that she's saying majority of it is truth, but I still think 10% of it is falsified. I think she's saying a few things with an altered truth so that she can get herself as far away from this situation as possible. But again, hopefully she got more charges coming. I really hope she gets more, because that's what she deserves as well. Not only just Adam, but her as well. So we'll see what happens here. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Okay. We're going to be doing some more recaps. Trust and believe. All right. We're going to be looking through some more things. Thank you so much for being here. This was a tough one. And, like I said, it's nice to walk and march through these dark subject matters with soldiers like you guys. All right. I really do appreciate you guys. And I know some of you guys were like, this is so tough. I don't know if I can get through it, but you did. If you stuck around even after saying that, I want to say thank you so much for being here. It really does mean a lot. And yes, S-Dubs, let me lower the music really quick. S-Dubs is right. If you suspect of CA, call the Child Help National CA hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453, or you can go to www.childhelp.org. Okay. Thank you, S-Dubs. I need to remember to have that in my setup in the background, so I have that at all times. So thank you so much for that information and that reminder. And I want to say that if you see something, say something. If you see something's going on with a little kid, jump in the way. I'm telling you, within the confines of safety, okay? But if you're seeing harm being put upon a little, jump in front, okay? Seriously, hold the fort. These kids need a chance. Harmony did not get a chance. And that's what breaks my heart even more. That's what angers me more than ever when it comes to this particular case. So like I said, I hope they bury this mother lover, both of them, under the prison. And we'll be watching. Trust me, we will be watching. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Again, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out. That would really mean a lot. Hit that reaction button on the way out if you're watching on Facebook, of course. That would mean the world to me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, crush that follow button on my Facebook page. On both platforms, it'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family, okay? Really, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/thepascalshow, okay? Go check out my merch, which is pinned to the top of the chat. You can also see it in the description box down below. Support if you can. Hit that join button and become a member if you want to do that as well. There's so many options. You got options, man. Okay, you got options. All right, so go check those things out. All right, I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. If I don't see you guys this weekend, which you most likely will, have a safe one. All right, and I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. See you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.